Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your fucking clout. If you're raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now.
You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
Anything negative, cause I just wanna hear it out your mouth, yeah. Give me fuel, it's a tool that I use to go ahead and run my fucking mouth, yeah. I take shots, I take loss, I make shots, I miss lots. I tell you get big box, you get yachts, you swing lots and pop off a big shot. I ain't done chasing, got big dreams, bigger things, impatient. Who's at the top think they need replacement? Who's at the top think I'm gonna erase them? Face it, I don't give up quick, I don't give up shit, I won't give up this. Cause I know that I want it, know that I'm on it, I'll make it, I promise.
You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Just waiting on Bass's ass to finish watching that sorry ass Cowboys game. But what's going on, everybody? How are you this evening? And to that one particular person, keep your fucking comments to yourself. How about that one? You know I'm talking to. Pain in the ass. Well, what's going on, everybody? How are you doing this evening? It's not going to be a long one. It's going to be kind of short. Monday night. I'm surprised you guys don't watch wrestling anymore and shit. I guess not, since Vince McMahon took the he's watching the same game. I see my cousin just posted that their kicker missed three fucking point after attempts. That shit's rigged, dude. It really is. But yeah, I'm not gonna get into that shit. But yeah, you guys don't watch wrestling. Nobody watches wrestling anymore. I don't watch wrestling. The only thing I watch is like the Royal Rumble. Hold up. His TV is super loud. Oh, one second. Cameron, turn your TV down. Yeah. Oh, what's up, Crash? What's up, Crash? How you doing? Aussie, how you doing? Yukon, Bear, Joanne, Dark, what's going on, dude? G Music. I don't know how bad Dallas is losing. It could be astronomical or it could be by one. I don't know. I refuse to watch a Cowboys game. Since Danny Hodge quit wrestling. But yeah, check this out, right? So Vince McMahon got put out of the company a few months ago for some allegation shit, but now he's back, and they're selling the WWE to Saudi Arabia. Yeah, so that's just gonna be crazy. I don't know because a lot of wrestlers didn't want to go. Score is 18-0 Cowboys. Hmm. What happened? What quarter is it? Because the game started at what 8:30, 8:40. I'm sorry, ass cowgirls. If that's the score, I'm surprised. What is it? We're in the playoffs now, right? Well, not we. I don't follow the shit. 24 to Zip Cowboys up. Who are they playing? Third, and they just scored again. So, yo, listen. All right, so I'm gonna tell you. I think that shit's rigged, just like the NBA. Um, yeah, yeah. It there's too much money that changes hands during football games and football playoffs, basketball games, basketball playoffs. That shit's rigged, dude. You got to give the people the spectacle, right? You got to keep them enticed from what else is going on in the world. Oh, Tampa Bay. What's up, Illumina? How you doing this evening? Quick Witty. I've never heard that name before. Whoever Quick Witty is, nice to meet you. Good to see you. Nice to have you here. But no, yeah, ain't shit going on. I just, like I said, I'm trying to work on a new intro because I want to just start doing like a seat. Oh shit, my music stopped. But I'm working on I'm working on having the shit a little more structured, like episodic, stuff like that. And I'm working on a new intro for the quote unquote season 2. Don't. I'm not satisfied with it yet. Not really. I've done in the past like 3 days. I've done like fucking edited that shit like 9 times. So it'll be there. It'll be there. AEW is better than WWE. See, A, AEW is becoming the new WCW. No, let me say that right. WCW. Like we're all the old, like you know how in back in the day WCW had all the all the old heads show up there, and then they had all the new wrestlers and shit show up. That's what AEW kind of is. Because look, you got older wrestlers like the Big Show, Chris Jericho, CM Punk, which I don't think he's wrestling anymore. I think they had some bullshit going on. I think he had some bullshit going on with the company. But they got a lot of their old wrestlers, but they also have a lot of new stars. And I definitely think, well, I don't, over the past year and a half or so, yes, AEW has been better with their wrestling. But Triple H now everybody, if you followed WWE at any point since like fucking 1996, you know who Triple H is and that he's married to Vince McMahon's daughter. Well, they made Triple H the head of creative, and he's going to stay the head of creative according to their statements. So I think depending on what goes down with that Saudi deal, the WWE creative is actually going to potentially be pretty good underneath Triple H. Because while in Vince's absence, he was bringing back a lot of stars that like WWE let go while Vince was the head of creative and running the company and shit. And I just think what it is Vince is a little salty that he can't really like he's been outed like that. He can't run a company and shit because of that. Like, he can't be the public figurehead of the company like he wants to be. So he said, "Fuck it, I'm going to sell it." And sell it to a private. I believe they said it's a private firm in Saudi Arabia. We'll see how that goes. So, but I, I I hope WWE gets a little bit better. I'm tired of seeing the same guys get shoved down everybody's fucking throats. Um, and I really only watched the Royal Rumble, which me and Miss Truth watch that every year, and we fucking when the Royal Rumble starts, we write down who the entrant is, and then who they got eliminated by, and we keep track of it like that. Oh yeah, you guys remember back in the day, the Attitude it was the Attitude Era with Stone Cold and fucking Stone Cold and The Rock and everybody else with the Monday Night Wars. Like, that's when I was in middle school. All right, so if you were in middle school and you were watching wrestling, you were watching Monday Night Raw and WCW. The next Tuesday morning in homeroom, if you didn't watch wrestling the night before, you couldn't be part of the conversation. You had to go sit on the other side of the room. Nah, you can't talk. Bye. Go away. Because how you can't explain Stone Cold driving a fucking Zamboni or a beer truck. Like, that stuff you gotta watch. Yeah, see, I don't think that. Yeah, see, hold on, let me put that on screen. See, I think it was more along the lines of that was a McMahon thing doing that shit. You know what I mean? Because they only now that it's only now and recently they started acknowledging her again, and I definitely agree. China belongs in the Wrestling Hall of Fame. She definitely does. She has a spot there. I don't care what happened after wrestling or whatever. She deserves a spot in the Wrestling Hall of Fame, and she should be inducted into the Wrestling Hall of Fame as a member of DX also, because she did a lot for women's wrestling in the early 2000s and shit. Like, who the hell she was it? Jeff Jarrett? She took the Intercontinental title off of. Pretty sure it was Jeff Jarrett. But no, yeah, she definitely deserves a. You never saw Triple H as a main event guy. The, the reason why he became a main event guy. I'm just saying that's my opinion. We know why he became a main event guy. Plus, in the absence of like Stone Cold got injured and he couldn't really wrestle after say like 2001, 2002, and then The Rock was starting to make his Hollywood move. There was really nobody that I think they would. I mean, you had the Undertaker. The Undertaker was a steadfast there, and you had Kane. Um, yeah, just I don't think there was any polarizing stars at that point except for Triple H. Yeah, and then you throw in his whole version of Degeneration X and shit, which his version of DX is all right. I'm more a fan of the original, but still, Ric Flair's goat. Hell yeah, Ric Flair's goat. Have you guys ever just sat and like either YouTube watched or like watched on Facebook streams just the Ric Flair rants from like the 70s and 80s and shit in the in the 90s? That shit'll have you rolling. And yeah, his daughter Charlotte's in the in WWE now. She multiple time champion. I don't know. I don't know exactly how many times. Hey, what's up, Larry and Candace? Just shooting some shit about some wrestling here. Wrestling. But dude, yeah, I used to the Monday Night Wars back in the day and shit. Used to watch it, flick because Monday Night Raw wouldn't start until 9 o'clock, but WCW would start at 8. So you'd watch WCW for a little while, and then fucking Monday, you click over to Monday Night Raw and be back and forth. And then Bischoff started doing that shit where he would reveal what was happening on Raw because they pre-recorded that shit. Oh, that was dirty pool. It was great though. I remember the pay per view where fucking Hogan turned heel. That was awesome. That was great. He came out and leg dropped Macho Man Randy Savage, and when he did it, everyone was like, "Oh, it's Hulk Hogan!" And he came out and leg dropped Hulk. What in the hell, Hulk Hogan? And people were like, "I love WCW because that to me was seemed more real than WWE because at that point." These fucking guys were getting shit thrown at the ring at them every time they went in the ring. Fucking beer cups and soda cups, all kinds of shit flying into the room whenever the NWO was in there. Which I don't know, but if you guys were a video game head back in the day, they had the what was it NWO versus the World on. Fucking console was that? Wasn't Jaguar. I forgot exactly what console that was. It Nintendo 64? I think it was Nintendo 64. But yeah, that shit with that one was awesome. Mid South Wrestling with Junkyard Dog. Yeah, The Undertaker. See, I'll tell you who my favorite wrestler because I've been like I said my dad's in the wrestling. He was in the wrestling when me and my brother were fucking toddlers. Favorite wrestler, my favorite wrestler, because you guys are probably gonna think obvious like Stone Cold or The Rock or fucking Shawn Michaels, but I'm I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. There's pretty fucking athletic guys there. Um, you know what? Dark just hit it on the head. The bad guy. Favorite wrestler of all time. Nobody sold that character. Nobody sold their character more than Scott Hall as Razor Ramon. Nobody. Come to walk into the ring with all the chains on, fucking flicking the. Yeah, that was pretty sad because he started like for a while there. He was like in the train, like he was doing bad, but then he hooked up with I believe it was Diamond Dallas Page, and they started getting better, and yeah, it's a shame. Yeah, Roddy Piper's fucking awesome too. Anybody speaking of Roddy Piper, you guys ever watch They Live? If you haven't watched the Roddy Piper movie They Live, you need to go watch that shit. Roddy Piper was supposed to also be in another movie that never came out. And it was supposed to be him and you guys remember Miss Jackie? She was in that shit too. Eddie Guerrero with the cheater gimmick. um so I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm a fan of John Cena. I know. I know. I bought his album twice. I know. It was actually pretty good. That spinner title was the shit. I don't care what nobody says. That thing was hot. That thing was sick. And he had, if in recent memory, he had one of the loudest, no, loudest crowd reactions in like when they did the whole draft, when they did the whole like drafting Raw and SmackDown and shit, when he first won the WWE title and he made it the spinner title and shit. That night he was drafted onto Raw. What's up, John Paul? I'm waiting on Bass. He's watching Cowboys game, but it might be over here by the time he gets off. But yeah, that reaction he got that night was probably one of the loudest I've heard, like from a crowd. And the night when they the night to watch on Monday Night Raw is the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, because they're usually in. Sometimes they're in New York City, and when they're in New York City, the Raws after WrestleMania, those shits are nuts. Like there's a wrestler. His name was Fandango, and he had like some cha cha music or some shit. He was a pretty popular character, right? So his whole for a few months, his whole ploy was like he'd come to the ring, he'd dance around, and then he wouldn't wrestle. Like he'd just walk away and shit. And then his first match was at WrestleMania, and I believe it was against Chris Jericho. And he did like a fucking super high leg drop from the top rope, and he won the match. And then the next night, this took place in New York. The next night on Monday Night Raw, he came out and everybody started like singing his song. And then they, the following Monday, they aired footage of like what was going on in like the subway systems and people walking down the fucking roads. Everybody was singing his song. Like it was fucking crazy. ECW was a shit. I really didn't watch the old ECW. I didn't. There was really no place for me to watch it. You know what I mean? Like, I think that was, but I would have watched it. The um, the one night stand show when it was John Cena versus Rob Van Dam, and I don't think in like an arena, John Cena. It wasn't even arena. It was in the fucking where they used to have the original show. They're doing all right. They just got a lot of personal stuff going on that they're taking care of. Greg, but the fucking ballroom type thing. I forgot what the hell the name of that one was. That's where they were, and it was John Cena versus Rob Van Dam. It was called ECW One Night Stand, and there was like it was like super fucking hostile in there. Like John Cena's walking through the crowd to the ring. And he's got like the title over his head and shit, and he's got his like head down, and you can see in the audience like these were hardcore ECW fans at this show. And you can see in the audience, people had signs on the walls and shit that said, "If Cena wins, we riot," and you could believe it. Like that shit. That was a crazy pay per view. Also, like I don't know if I like the way WrestleMania is now. It's broken up into like a 2 or 3 night thing. Who was the wrestler who died on the show from? That was Owen Hart. Owen Hart, Bret Hart's younger brother. He fell. He was doing the blue blazer gimmick, and something went wrong with the rigging, and he fell from like 70 feet up. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, that one hard shit was crazy because they went on with the show. Like the show went on that night. The show was crazy. I guess it's like guess Vince didn't know what the hell to do, but just was like, yo, just keep going. Yeah, that was crazy. I'll tell you, two of the craziest matches I've seen, and they both involve uh, Hell in a Cell. You guys are familiar with that one? The first Hell in a Cell match with Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, when Kane revealed himself. Right, he comes fucking the music hits, the pyro hits, fucking you got this guy walking out, fucking big fucking red outfit, big mask on, and you see this guy, and he's huge. The man was fucking huge, right? So as a little kid, you're like, holy shit, yo. And then he takes like you being a little kid, you being a kid, almost teenager, and you're watching it, and you see they're in the cage, and so you know what it's like. You know, you've been around chain link fences and cages and shit like that as a kid playing in play yards. You see this big ass dude walk up and yank the fucking door off that hinge, and your jaw just dropped. Like, get the what? That was crazy. And then they taken fucking they bullseye Shawn Michaels into the side of the cage, right? And then the other one was when Undertaker threw Mick Foley / Mankind off the top of that shit. Whoa. Whoa. But yeah, like I've been to a couple of Monday Night Raws. Uh, yeah, and like I was up top, but when you can still see like guys like the Big Show, guys like Braun Strowman, uh, who else was there? Fucking the Great Khali. Those dudes, those dudes are gigantic. No shit about it. Those guys, yeah, those guys are gigantic. Yeah, Mankind. He, I kind of like Mick Foley more as Cactus Jack. That shit him and Terry Funk would do was crazy, yo. Do you guys? I don't know. Do you guys remember that episode of Monday Night Raw where the New Age Outlaws, Road Dogg and Jesse James pushed fucking Terry Funk and I think it was Mankind. They pushed him off the side of the stage in that dumpster. I'm like, what? Do I? Yes, I watched. Yeah, I watched the Stone Cold show. That's a damn good show. He did an interview not too long ago. I believe it was with Dean Ambrose / John Moxley, and he was ready to mop the floor with him. Chris Jericho has one too. It's called Talk Is Jericho. Favorite was the Dudley Boys powerbombing. All right, Donnie Chill, I got you. Do you remember the one where they powerbombed Mae Young through the table off the side of the stage? Remember that look? Remember that look Bubba had in his face when he did it? He was like, "Oh fuck, I love wrestling." I don't know if I might try to get back into it. I don't know if shit's any good now. I really don't. Like I said, I really only watch pay-per-views. At halftime, I really don't watch the Royal Rumble. At halftime, I'm looking at it like, what the fuck is this guy? The British Bulldogs. See, the one thing I do like though, they they got rid of the WWE network, right? So now WWE goes through Peacock. So you can go back and watch like older Raw episodes from like 1998, 1999, 2000, the really good era of wrestling. And every once in a while, I go back and I watch Raw and be like, yo, that shit was funny as hell. Yeah. Um, I don't know. Did they start announce? I don't know. Like I said, I haven't really watched recently, but have they started announcing who's going into the Hall of Fame this year? Oh yeah, look, I know it's fake, man. I know. Like when they throw a punch, it's not a punch. It's just like this. They just like that, right? And when they say a super kick, right? It's that smack you hear is not the boot hitting somebody in the face. The smack you hear is them slapping their thigh. Yeah, yeah, I know they make it obvious now, but it's still they still have to. I look at it this way. Yes, I know it's fake, but these guys you still have to be super athletic to do a lot of this shit. Like, all right, I'm gonna pose this question in the chat right now. All right, any of you guys are gonna go take a body slam right now and not have to take off work for like 4 days? I damn sure can't do it. No, yeah, definitely. There's definitely an art to professional wrestling, and you know, I think every kid when they're little wants to be like they grow up watch wrestling. I want to be a wrestler. I want to be a wrestler. So I'm gonna tell you this: the one wrestler out of all the years that I've watched this shit, um, but they could try harder to make it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they could try harder, but nowadays they're more focused on keeping each other safe. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the research that's been done now with former wrestlers with like the head injuries and stuff like that, like Chris Benoit. I'm not going to get into what he did. If you follow wrestling, then you know what he did. But Chris Benoit, they said when they autopsied his brain, his brain was damaged so much it looked like the age of like a 70-something-year-old. I think Chris Benoit was maybe my age when he died, 38. I don't know. But back to what I was saying about this one wrestler. So, out of all the years of following wrestling and watching numerous guys and shit, and the one wrestler I have the utmost respect for, and I would love to meet this guy if I could, and it's going to sound stupid, Mike the Miz Mizanin. I'm going to say it again. Mike the Miz Mizanin. I respect the hell out of that guy because you know what? When he was younger, he said he was going to be a wrestler. When he got on the real world, he said he was going to be a wrestler and he was going to be a world champion. That man did exactly what he said he was going to do. He became a professional wrestler. He became one of the most popular wrestlers in the company, one of the longest standing wrestlers in the company now, and he's a multiple time world champion. He's got numerous shows, a movie career. Um, dude, like I respect the hell out of that guy. And he started as the man said one day I'm going to be world champion, and he did it. Yeah, yep, exactly. Like the Miz is my boy. I love the Miz. If I'd love to meet him. Plus, when they start uh, when they start production on Mortal Kombat 2, if they don't cast him as Johnny Cage, they're messing up big time. They really are. If the Miz is not cast as Johnny Cage, they are squandering that opportunity because technically, the Miz character in professional wrestling is a version of Johnny Cage. Prove me wrong. There's a channel here on YouTube called For Wrestling Fans, how a lot of the 80s wrestling shows. Just that's cool. Yeah, like I'll go back and watch like old Ric Flair matches. I love watching old Ric Flair shit. Anything old Ric Flair. Yeah, there's matter of fact, I think the Royal Rumble is the 28th, 29th. Yeah, quick witty. Him and Kat, they just taking care of some personal stuff they got going on right now. They're doing all right though. Um, but yeah, like I said, Mike Mizmazen, and that's my dude. The man accomplished exactly what he said he was gonna do. Yeah, he got the. And I think once he's done with wrestling, I think he will end up being a very popular. I think he'll end up being a popular actor in like mainstream because that's what he's gonna do. Now, there's debate of who the best wrestler turned actor is, and I'm gonna have to agree with what I heard. I read it's out of like The Miz, who does like kind of straight to DVD movies. You had Hulk Hogan, who did a few, which, and if any of you remember No Holds Barred, that shit was awesome. Who favorite female wrestler? All right, so I'm paused without saying. I'm gonna answer that one. Favorite. All right, get some coffee here. What are my words? Favorite female wrestler. Uh, hmm, Lita. Yeah, Lita. Lita, and then a close second would be close second would be Trish Stratus, but Lita definitely first. Oh, Asuka. Oh yeah, she's awesome. Um, she wasn't on air for a while. Like they do that with they'll give a wrestler a title and then they'll take them off air they'll take them in the title off air for a while. Like the um the Intercontinental title. What's up, dude?
Hola.
What?
Hola.
All right. Like the Intercontinental title, that shit wasn't seen on TV for months. For months. And the guy I think the one who was carrying it at the time might have been Nakamura. But yeah, Shinsuke Nakamura. I see you, Will Cut. Will Cut's clowning the Cowboys in my DMs. Anybody remember? Yes, I remember Abdullah the Butcher in grocery store. Really nice guy. Oh, that's cool. Oh, fun fact about Kevin Nash that I just learned. All right, so you guys remember the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Did you know that Kevin Nash was Super Shredder? I didn't know that. Shit, you know, he played Super Shredder at the end of the movie. Yeah. Or was that part? One of those. Was it part one, part two? One of those movies. He played fucking Super Shredder. I think it was part two, right? Sorry, so long ago. I haven't seen those movies in years, but I did see him in the picture as Super Shredder. Oh, let me show you. Fuck it, I'll do it later. But yeah, Lita's definitely I'd say the number one female wrestler. Trish Stratus is a close to. Vic, no, no, maybe no. Victoria. Do you guys remember Victoria from the early 2000s? She was a really good wrestler. Brandon Triple H. Yeah, those guys they're wide. They are wide. Kevin Nash plays Super Shredder in the second one. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I couldn't remember which one it was, but yeah, it's definitely he played Super Shredder. Um, so did you guys ever see No Holds Barred with Hulk Hogan? I want to say it was a '90s movie. He played Rip Torn or some shit like that. Some wrestler name, and he fought against Zeus. The funniest scene in that movie, right? You know when they abduct the girl in the limo, and he starts chasing them down on the motorcycle and shit. He grabs a hold of one dude, and he's holding him up against the wall, and he's like, "Yo," he starts like sniffing. It's like, "What's that smell?" And my man said, "Dookie." Oh my god, that shit was so funny. Oh, I died when that shit Dookie. See, Focus remembers that. Yeah, that shit was funny. Plus, he was all sweaty and shit. I'll tell you what, I did like Suburban Commando though. I'm not. Yeah, it was a bad movie. And it was a bad movie. That shit where Arnold Schwarzenegger, no, not fucking Hulk Hogan played the Space Commander that fucking landed on Earth and was hanging out at these people's houses. That was pretty good. Um, I did watch that Thunder in Paradise. Like I say, guys, I watched a lot. I watched a lot of crap. Not gonna lie, watched a lot of crap. Speaking of watching, I watched a new movie earlier. Well, you can tell that movie was at least partially written by Vince. Oh yeah, definitely. Um, did you know that the Undertaker was in that movie? Not a lot of people know that he was in that Suburban Commando or whatever the hell that name of that shit was. The Undertaker played one of the bounty hunters. hmm It's back when he was like a little chunky in the face, but the Undertaker played one of the bounty hunters in that movie. Seen Hogan at the same orthopedic as well. A lot of athletes go to Andrews Sports. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. You hear a lot of like I believe they do a lot of Tommy John surgery down there. So a lot of baseball players go down there. But I can't really think. I don't know. Can you guys think of a really good movie that a wrestler was in? All right, Donnie, we're gonna exclude They Live. That one's That's in its own category. Own category. Besides They Live, what is the next best movie? Because nothing stands up to They Live. But what is the next best movie featuring a wrestler? Um, Mr. Nanny. Um, which Bond movie had Andre? Now I'm kind of talking about well, no, the wrestler doesn't necessarily have to be the main character because Andre the Giant was in A Princess Bride, and that's like the greatest fairy tale movie ever. I don't care what anybody says. Does Jesse Ventura count? Yes, Jesse Ventura count. Well, how? Let's let. All right. So screen time for Jesse Ventura. I know exactly what movie you're talking about. We're talking about The Predator. Jesse had. Yeah, Yeah, you can include the Rock movies. I don't think all his movies are spectacular. I mean, Walking Tall was really good, but um, Predator. Hmm. I mean, okay, okay. No, show. I don't watch. I don't watch Cowgirls. Mm-mm. Major Pain had Bam Bam Bigelow in it. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And Major Pain broke his ass off real quick. Uh, there's shit. The, all right. So John Cena movie. You guys remember the Marine? If the Marine would have followed, like in the first 5 minutes of the Marine, if it would have stayed like that the entire movie, that shit would have been awesome. The whole like going on vacation, your girl and your the woman gets abducted, his wife he gets abducted, and he's got like, yeah, I would have rather have seen like a military movie.
Drop the mic.
Hello, talking to
Oh, my bad.
talking to what's up? Yeah. You know I'm on air, right? Ugh. That was Blues and G Music. That was Demolition Man. What's up? What do you need, dude? What's going on? Oh, sorry. What? What do you want? What's up? Okay. I think he's a little salty. I don't know. Uh, yeah, that was Demolition Man. He sounds worked up. Dallas shutout Taylor. No, it wasn't that. Apparently, I forgot to call him and tell him I was going live. See, uh, I haven't seen the one with. I haven't seen the Fast and Furious with John Cena yet. The shits are just. The shits are just over the top now. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Focus. Let's see what your question is. Oh, well, you can be salty. Ain't nothing new. Okay, do you and your brother's kids look a lot like Bass doesn't have kids. Nope. Okay, yeah, Larry and Candace, I can go with that one because Triple H did play like a kind of a major role in that movie. I can go with that one. Sorry, guys. I thought you guys were fucking watching. Thought Bass was watching a football game. So what have you been talking about? Or whatever you've been talking about? Uh, yeah, I'm just. I'll tell you what. If you haven't seen Peacemaker, watch Peacemaker. That's really you'll like that one. Um, that's a John Cena show. What else? I saw. I don't know. I'm kind of not a rock fan, a rock movie fan anymore. He's kind of polarizing, fucking everything. Oh, you got the so. All right. So what's up, Dave? How you doing tonight? Yeah, what are you guys talking about? Guardians of the Galaxy with Dave Bautista. Yes, Guardian. I'd say the Guardian series will probably be, besides They Live, the Guardian series with Dave Bautista in it would probably be the best movie featuring a wrestler. Did you see that Dogman video that came out recently where it's showing half of its face in the woods and the eyes blinking? No, I haven't seen that. No, I'm gonna have to look that up. Yeah, Batista's coming into his own as an actor. I mean, he played a baddie in a James Bond film. Then he was really good in Glass Onion, and now he's got that one coming out called Knock on the Door or Knock on the Cabin. That one looks crazy. You see big ass religious zealot Batista knock banging on your door, telling you you gotta off one of your family members to stop the end of the world. And did you guys see what was it? Army of the Dead? The one from a couple years ago where they were in Vegas doing that heist in Vegas. That one was all right. Um, was that one was called like My Spy or something like that? Uh, interesting. I watched a video where Dave Bautista was talking about his tattoos, and he was talking about his co-star from that movie. I Spy My Spy, whatever it's called, and apparently she was asked. She was like, "Yo, do you true or false? Do you think Dave Bautista has a tattoo of Winnie the Pooh?" And she's like, "Well, Dave's a really nice guy, and blah, blah, yeah, yeah, I think he does have it. True." And she was wrong. No, he didn't have one. But when Dave had found that out and heard about it, he went and got a Winnie the Pooh tattoo for her. Like we went and got a Winnie the Pooh tattoo done for in dedication of his co-star. That was pretty cool. What's up, Arlene? How are you doing this evening? Ah, that's my ear. Yo. My bad, dude. I thought you were watching the fucking game.
I am watching the game, but I told you to call me numbnuts.
Stop yelling in the fucking microphone.
I told you to call me numbnuts.
Jesus Christ. So what's up? I just been talking about wrestling and movies and shit.
I'm sitting there freaking chatting with Walcott and shit like that. It's like, oh wait, Truth is like, I'm like, what?
Yeah. So everything all right?
Okay. Who? What? Yeah.
Everything all right with World Cup?
Oh no, yeah, Dave's good. Drop the link, he'll probably hop in. I think I just got a text message from him. Hold on. Well, as you guys can see, that's the Cowboys game on right now. And we are up 31-6 in the fourth quarter with 8 minutes left. We might be able to get it done.
That old rigged shit.
A fucking burger just asked me. That's funny. Nah, but Dave's all right. Yo, drop the link in the chat. Get him up in it.
I put it in there.
Got me a new director's chair. I mean, a webcam. Does it look a little clear?
It was NVTV. What happened, Bass? Oh, you got your new webcam?
Yeah, hold on. I'll change the resolution real quick. I'll show you what. All right. So that is the old one. Well, you can't see because I got the son of a. But that is the new one.
I mean, it looks all right.
Pretty clean, right?
Yeah.
Not bad for $30.
All right.
Hold on, I will do this real quick. Oh.
Willie Cut. Yo, what's up, Will Cut? You muted yourself. You gotta mute yourself, Dave.
Okay, there we go.
Yep. Give me 1 second. We're right back.
What's up, Dave?
I said, Brady's going to Brady again.
What?
Brady's going to Brady. He's going to come back and whip you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. This game ain't over. This shit is rigged, dude.
Well, yeah, when you're sitting there bitching about the kicker missing 4 straight field goals.
Listen, I came across this one joint. The reason I believe it's rigged is I don't know how true it is, but the shit looked compelling. They said that the footballs, when they make them, when they put the skin over the rubber, they put like a sensor in that thing. Kind of like a sensor or magnetic or some shit. And when they wanted to, that thing, it veers off from the poles when they're kicking field goals. Focus, you saw that, right? They know what I'm talking about.
I saw something on TikTok or Facebook about them putting a sensor right underneath the laces.
Yep, it's right underneath the laces. They put it right underneath the laces. Why do you think they say laces out when you kick the fucking ball? Magnetic ball goes to the rim. Yep. They do the shit. The shit's rigged in the NBA too. Like I saw a video the other day. I don't know if the guy had stickum on his hands. I don't know what the hell it was, but it was after a touchdown. He went to go like toss the ball away, and the shit wouldn't leave his hand. So he starts looking at it. He started looking at it and he's like, "What the fuck?" And he has to pull his glove off.
Now you know what that scene reminded
In
me
other
of?
words,
The movie of
the replacements,
Dave,
Orlando Bloom.
Yes, we were just talking about that shit.
But he went to try to throw the shit and it was stuck on his hand. And he's like,
Yeah.
he's like, "What the fuck?" So he takes his glove off and drops it on the ground, and then a couple other players pick it up and like try to like walk off with it and shit.
I tell you what, me and Dave just had a good conversation about some of the greatest football movies ever made.
Okay.
That was one of them with the replacements.
Yep.
I agree. Great one.
Now I told him there's a few I love, but my all-time favorite, The Program.
Yep. That was a good one.
Any Given Sunday.
The Program is better.
What?
Any Given Sunday was great, but The Program was better.
Nothing. You're not gonna tell me The Program was way better than a movie with Al Pacino. Fuck out of here.
Dave,
Yep.
please chime in on this one.
No.
To me, yeah, because you're dealing with college athletes and what they would do to get that contract for the NFL. Because remember the big guy in there, the steroid freak.
That's why
all the different ways he was cheating the system.
That's why I only really watch college sports, because they're trying to get that payday, so they work harder. Like college basketball.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm telling you, if you never
Necessary
seen The Program,
roughness. Necessary roughness.
yeah, we talked.
That
about
was another
too.
one.
That was you talked about that too. I'm telling, dude, best football movie that a lot of people haven't seen. The Program. And if you can find it, watch it. And you'll
It's
understand
got,
what we're talking about.
We Are Marshall.
That's a good one.
Hey, Mike Bash, you know what this one is. It's fucking
We got
that Andy Dick movie where he's like a Division
the
fucking
Netflix straight shit, Division 3. That's what it's called. But you know what? That was more. I'm talking about like a serious football movie. That was more of a fucking shit and grins type meal. I'm talking about a real serious movie.
If you're 15 minutes early, that means you're 5 minutes late. You slow that shit. Okay. All right.
Nah, that shit was pretty funny. I forgot about that one. Andy Dick is hilarious. No matter what he does, he's hilarious.
Football movies.
Rudy.
31 to 6. I think we got this one, boys.
I don't really watch those like quote unquote like the inspiring movie. Fucking.
Oh, like
Rudy.
Nah,
That is a really good true story.
Yeah.
On how he did it.
So is the Blind Side. The Blind Side is pretty good too. One underrated movie that was actually pretty good. That's a football movie. The movie that starred The Rock as a coach with the juveniles who
Gridiron Gang.
played in football.
Yeah, Gridiron Gang.
Yeah, that was pretty good too.
See, before you guys hopped in, the subject I was talking about, what is the best movie featuring a wrestler, excluding They Live? You can't say They Live. That's excluded. What is the best movie featuring a wrestler?
Oh, I got one for you.
The Condemned.
Where the wrestler. Oh shit! I forgot about that.
The which one?
The Condemned was Stone Cold.
The Condemned was great.
I forgot about that.
Nah, I got one for you. What was the Hulk Hogan movie where he was a badass and he pulled the guy out of the car? He was like, "What's that smell?"
I was talking about that's fucking No Holds Barred.
Dookie. He had fucking diarrhea going down the back of his pants.
What's up, Charlie? How you doing? But yeah, excluding They Live.
Wrestler.
Excluding They Live. I mean, the wrestler. They have to have more than 5 minutes of screen time. More than 5 minutes of screen time.
Shit, that's a tough one.
What's up, Sean G?
Dude, what about the movie with David Arquette where they were the wrestling fans? Him and
Oh yes, that was good.
Ready to Rumble.
Yes,
yeah, that was a good one.
Okay, yeah. You know, The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke was a pretty good movie. Did you see that one?
Yep.
But that's not a movie with a wrestler. Was there any professional wrestlers in that fucking movie? I don't know. Whatever.
I think Jake the Snake Roberts made an appearance in it. I'm not sure.
So, yeah, I'm just there's none that really stand out. I mean, shit. Yeah, Hulk Hogan even did a fucking Three Ninjas movie.
Really?
Yeah, three ninjas at something mountain. He like his team. They like took over like a theme park or some shit. He played the bad guy.
Oh wait, no, wait! I got one for you. What about when Hulk Hogan played the superhero and freaking they had the Undertaker in there also?
That Suburban Commando.
Well, the one where I'm talking about wasn't Suburban Commando. It was when he was chasing down the dudes on the bike, and he caught them in the parking lot. And he yanked the one dude out the system, and he walked through like.
That's what's it? That's No Holds Barred. That's with Zeus.
All right. That was a good one too. Wait, he was also in Rocky too, bro.
Yep, Rocky 3.
Oh yes, he was.
Thunder Lips.
Yep.
Yeah, he was. I forgot about that.
Okay. How about? I got one for you. I got one for you right here. How about Jesse Ventura and Predator?
Yep.
Screen time more than 5 minutes, and he was a badass. Think about it. It's meeting your criteria. You put it out there. I'm just giving you something.
Yeah.
That fucking helicopter gun he was walking around with. Oh man.
There's one other we're forgetting that most women love. The Princess Bride.
Oh no! See, I mentioned Princess Bride.
Oh, with
Andre the Giant.
Yes. Oh yeah.
No,
okay.
I may be
That's
mistaken, but
did
Andre the Giant play Bigfoot in the $6 Million Man?
Yes, he did.
I think he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Dude.
Hulk Hogan used to kill me with that fucking the way he did his beard when he was with the NWO. That used to kill me.
Oh, when he dyed it.
Dyed everything else except the mustache.
Oh, he dyed the ends. Right there at the edge of his lips down, it was dyed.
Princess Bride, top 3 movies of my. Yes, definitely top 3. Well, not for me, not my top 3. No, what would...
Dude, you know what's an underrated movie that I actually liked?
Snatch is in my top 3. What?
No. The movies with wrestlers. That's in my. That was a pretty damn good movie. That I know nobody liked. The John Cena the Marine.
I mentioned that one.
That was a pretty damn good. Even the one with the Miz was pretty good too.
Never
then
saw
they try to get Randy Orton to do the same shit too. And
well, Randy Orton did 12 rounds. Randy Orton did the second 12 rounds after John Cena's first one, and then they also had Ted DiBiase Jr. play the Marine as a Marine, which I think he only did one. I think his shit was a flop.
Yep.
Oh, oh,
Pain and Gain.
oh, oh, no, Charlie, nail on the head, homie. Kane fucking see no evil as Jacob.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Jacob Goodnight. Oh my goodness. Oh, just to mention that,
And that was a WWE production.
Yep.
just thinking about that movie, I'm seeing the scene where he's falling from the roof and shit, and that pipe is in his eye, and the pipe is just hitting the fucking side of the building as he's falling. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, so I saw that one a few months back with the like fucking reptilian that jumped out of that guy when he was being robbed and shit. Yeah.
The what?
Shell sent me a video. You remember from that was out a few months ago. You know, it's the one where the guy's walking and some dude tries to like grab his book bag and the guy falls to the ground and like
Yeah.
Universal Soldier. Yeah, Iron Shield, 3 Samoans. What?
Wasn't that Universal Soldier 2? Universal Soldier 2 had Goldberg in it.
Yep.
Yeah, that was what it was called. Universal Soldier: The Return, I think.
Yeah.
So, earlier I watched The Man from Toronto.
Dude, that's a great movie.
That shit was awesome.
That's a great movie.
That shit was awesome.
I told you to watch that shit.
Woody Harrelson is pretty good in that. I like that one. That was pretty good. Oh, if you guys remember the last show I was talking about, the last show I was saying, the movie about the tunnel, it's called The Super Deep. That's what that movie is called, about that tunnel, about the tunnel with the shit coming up out of it, The Super Deep. So if
I
you
still haven't watched The Lair yet.
What?
Yeah, just like you haven't watched. You didn't watch the freaking the Hateful Eight.
I watched Hateful Eight now though.
Well, the Hateful Eight's been out for years. The Lair just came out, so you got to give me a minute. I'll probably watch it tomorrow when I'm doing shit. I gotta clean up a couple of prints and do some sanding and painting and stuff like that.
Oh, speaking of, let me show you guys.
Cthulhu is done, my friends. And this is a badass print too. If you know who H.P. Lovecraft is, you know who Cthulhu is. Now, the 3D print I just made is Cthulhu, a full body version, which I can add wings to it if I want to print those. But it's standing there. He's standing there holding the earth in his hand. It's a pretty
It's not the
print.
South Park version?
You know what, Dave? Hold on. I'll send you this shit right now. So you know what I'm talking about. Let me get them out. Bada bing, bada boom. And don't ever send me no Cowboys disrespect like that again, goddamn it. All right, Dave, I just sent to you. That's what it's gonna look like. Don't mind the there's shit. I took the picture from my laptop, but that's what it is. The shit is done. I just got to take the sports and stuff off of it.
That looks like Bigfoot holding an orb.
It's Cthulhu. Cthulhu holding the planet.
Put it on camera, fucker. Let me see it.
I didn't take the supports off of it yet.
I don't care.
You gotta be shitting me, man. Hold on.
All right, so this is the one. This is what I just finished, guys. A 1/6 scale Master Chief. It was printed in like 7 or 8 parts. Put it all together. A little paint, a little primer. Came out pretty damn good. I gotta throw some clear coat on it. and then do like the weathering and everything like that.
Now, when you do different parts like that, do you have it set up kind of like way regular dolls are, where they can snap in together?
Not those ones were they were flat, so you just had to put a little Gorilla Glue on them and then press them together. And then,
The spray on Gorilla Glue.
Oh no, I used the tube.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Mean Gene.
Give me a couple of minutes, ladies and gentlemen. I wasn't planning on ripping off these supports until tomorrow.
Dude, just put this.
Somebody wants to see the shit.
Just put the shit up with no supports. Who cares? Hey yo, put the shit up with no supports. But the first one came up screaming and
I gotta take the supports off. Listen, talk amongst yourselves for about 5 minutes. I'll be right back.
Oh, word, Keith? No, I did. I'm gonna have to look that one up because I know about the one in Siberia where they drilled down into Siberia, and they heard all those like sounds from hell coming up, like the screaming and the hollering and everything like that.
What is the name of that damn hole?
Yeah, I don't remember what that one is. Read the comments before. Let's see. Show that shit. All right, hold up. So I'm gonna go for maybe like 10 more minutes.
The Cola Super Deep Borehole. That was it.
Yep. So I'm gonna go for probably about 10 minutes or so because I got to be the work in a few hours. But I'll show you this guy. I'll show you guys this video that Joe sent me. Where is it? I think I've seen that shit. Alright, so pause, share screen, present. Alright. Alright. See that shit?
Yep.
Something like came out of that guy. Like, is it?
Is it real or is it a movie scene? Because that's a clear picture, a clear video.
See, now my question is, right, so after this thing appears the first time, why doesn't the guy take off running? Why is he kind of like, see right there, he starts walking towards it again. Like, watch the attacker's reaction when the thing first appears. Like, he takes 2 steps towards it. Like, what?
Yeah.
You gonna take two? You gonna take 2 steps towards some shit like that? I don't know.
Kind of reminds you of Venom.
It does. It does. Just it's the attacker's reaction that's kind of throwing me off. Like I wouldn't take 2 steps unless he couldn't see it and it wasn't fully manifested at that time. But that's only my speculation.
Yeah, because if it's real, maybe he can't see it because he's in a different. He's looking in a different way than from what the camera is.
Like he didn't. To me, he didn't take off running fast enough.
Yeah.
Like look at when he backs up the second time. Right? He's like, what? And then he's
Unless it slapped him so hard he got confused.
kind of like toddles along. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just like it seemed compelling.
You know what? Maybe he was in shock with what just happened. He's like,
no, because look at it. When the thing pops out and he starts walking towards it, he's still looking down at the dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though.
He's still looking
He
down.
maybe not be able to see it, and it's confusing the hell out of him.
You know what?
The camera sees it, but not him.
You may be right, Dave. Maybe he felt the thing push him off and he couldn't see it, and it pushed him again. And he's like, "What the fuck? You know what? Let me get out of here."
all right, this is without the support spot. I'll fucking show that anyway. Whatever. All right, I got to take the supports off, but this is Cthulhu holding the Earth. Came out pretty damn good too. There you go. See the detail in the leg and stuff. See the Earth, him holding the Earth, claws, Earth.
Yeah. How long did that take a break?
About 75 hours.
Damn.
Yeah.
Just over 3 days.
Yeah, but you know what? That's because I put infill in it. If I would have did it like with lightning, it probably would have been a little less time. Not much, but figure this is the 4th attempt I tried at doing this shit, and this printer actually got it right. My Ender 3, no. And once it's done, I'll finish that up and I'll start sanding down the Wait, where the hell is that helmet? What the fuck? The mechanized Deadpool. Wait, hold on, I got it right here. Hold on. That's that part with the face. Where's the face, Sebastians? All right, so.
Bash, Sean G said, check your messenger.
Okay.
Hey,
and this is the
mechanized
Deadpool.
Okay. So, I'm going to drop the link for Sean G to hop in, and then I'm going to let you take away the show because I'm going to go lay down.
Dude, I've been up since you woke me up at freaking 4:30 this morning, so.
Well, you ain't gotta go to work.
I don't know that.
And your game still ain't over.
Yep.
No, this game's over, bro. It's 31-14 with 129 left in the fourth quarter.
Right. So guys, I'm gonna let Bass and Wilcott take the reins. You guys have a good evening. All right.
Dude, last time this shit happened, I had shit moving around behind me.
You're fine. There's nothing to move around behind you. I'm looking. Unless that fucking hat starts waving in the wind or something like that. You're fine.
Don't say that shit.
Plus, your sister-in-law ain't there. Oh, did I say that loud?
All right, yo, you guys take it easy. All right, you know how to do everything, Bass. I'll talk to you later. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, but yeah, I'm turning my camera off. I'm turning my camera off. I don't know. So what's going on, everybody? Where you at right now, Dave?
Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana.
Just southeast of Chicago.
Hold on, we got Sean G. What's going on, Sean G?
Hey, what's going on, brother?
And
Hey, Sean.
I'm about to add my friend. I've known this guy. I'm 38 years old. I've known this guy 33, 35 years, something like that. What's going on, young man?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, check
Well,
your
let me see this mayhem,
messages.
because there's another mic on here, right?
Now you gonna call me Bass, bro.
All right.
Check
The several incarnations. How's it going, though?
All right. Now, this, ladies and gentlemen, young wise man, I've known this gentleman for a very, very long time, and I personally believe that me and Truth are the ones that got him into the conspiracy paranormal type stuff.
Yeah. We have a lot of unfinished business, I think. I got some time that I've been like writing a lot, and like we've gone through like movies and different ideas, and remember the one like small picture we did in Mr. Lem's class.
Oh, that was during Spirit Week, where every day was some weird shit.
Yeah, I rewrote that script, updated it. I got scripts, man. I sent you a couple on Facebook too, and the one link I was telling you to check out in your email, I think I linked it here too. It's a Reddit post. This is the first post that I did, so it's a script and a scene for a haunted story based in Sullivan County on the Stone Arch Bridge.
Okay, out in Jeffersonville.
Yeah, yep. I got some pictures out there with your nephews too.
So you know what? I was actually on the phone with Dave a little while ago, and I was telling him about. Do you remember when we was talking about that show called "What's Your American Dream"? And we were talking about following three people, like the guy at the bottom, the guy in the middle, and the guy at the top.
I can't recall that. See if you could refresh my memory.
We came up with a show idea called "What's Your American Dream," where you will follow a guy who's just starting in the business, a guy who's like mid-level, just starting the business, a guy who's mid-level successful, and you have a top guy, and you will follow these three individuals around to see like their daily routines and whatnot, and what they're doing to better themselves or make more money.
Okay, I get the premise. I don't remember being a part of that discussion.
Oh no, you were there. Absolutely. This was. I don't want to say it, but this was around the time where you were a very heavy weed smoker.
Still am. But probably not as much. Probably not as near as much as I used to smoke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So All right, so let me introduce you to everybody on the panel right now. This is Mr. Dave Wolcott, Mississippi boy. Met him down at the conference. Dave, good dude. And this
How's
is
it going?
Sean G from
Hey.
Chasers Youth. Sean G, very good dude. Gentlemen, this is my boy, Young Wise. Like I said, I've known him 30 plus years.
Nice to meet you,
Nice
man.
to meet you. Yeah, same here. I tried to get on last time. My video was giving me some problems, but
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah.
All right, so Sean G, what did you? I don't know if I have the administrative shit to share these videos into Truth Stream
I've got 'em.
because I don't have the
Here,
password.
I've got 3 videos to share with you. So just a second, I'll share it. I've got it. If you can,
Yeah, I got you. Bring it up. I'll pop it right into
All right, I got you.
you. There we go.
this is a moon UFO video. I'm not going to play the audio or anything like that. It doesn't really add to it.
Ooh, I see it.
Oh, that's clear.
Real
Yeah,
clear.
watch it.
Now,
Watch
if you
it.
can see how big is that shit?
Wait a
that's
minute.
You can catch a shot like that with a Nikon.
Yeah, look at that, man. Bring it back there. Watch it come from this, whatever this is. I don't know how big that is, but geez.
That's at least the size of a big city like Dallas, Fort Worth, New York.
Now, right here, is this a shadow coming from this up in here? Is this the shadow?
I don't know because it kind of has the same shadow that crater right there in the foreground has. You know, I think I might have seen that before. Oh, there's this one guy on TikTok, man. Like all he does is like he has a video live stream, like just focusing on the moon. And he catches some good stuff. I can't think of his name at the moment right now, but
I just followed a guy over on TikTok that takes sky pictures, and he's capturing all kinds of crazy anomalies. But this one is just incredible. I couldn't tell you what this is. It looks like it goes off the horizon we can't see. So who knows?
That shadow is coming from something else.
that looks like whatever that thing is hovering, whatever came out the bottom looks like it was attached to that.
Yeah.
Like imagine like a cheesy sci-fi movie where they have the big ship, then people go down into the little ship and they descend onto a planet or whatever. That's what it kind of reminds me of.
To me, it looks like it's 3 different pieces.
No, it's one piece. The top piece is one piece, but it's descending way too slow to be a missile or anything along that line. It's
Yes.
got to be some kind of
Going
craft.
slow like it's landing.
Yeah, it's got to be.
The other, that looks like 2 pieces to me because you see a break in between them. Plus, on the very right side, it looks like it's twirling. Look how it shifts. It goes from long, then it'll go down to a dot and just shifts around. Now, I zoomed it up as much as I can.
I can zoom in a heck of a lot more. On just a second. It gets a little pixelated, but there you go.
In a way, that piece on the right, it almost looks like it's a fin going back and forth. Look,
You know what that looks like? It looks like it could be the space shuttle releasing something or something along those lines. Maybe one of our new.
Satellites.
Not.
Wait a minute.
Not
When
satellite.
you
One of
a
our new
shuttle.
craft that isn't. It looks like it looks like the shuttle. Like because
But we ain't used the shuttle in years.
that doesn't mean we don't have a new advanced form of it. It might not
True.
even be ours. It might be in different countries.
Could be China.
Could be anybody. It could be a Black Ops program. You never know.
Right.
Like I mean, that's one of the best things to think about. Like what is really on the moon? Because it's so close, but yet we haven't been back. Quote unquote, we've landed there back in the 60s, but we haven't been back there since. Then you had a few years ago where they bombed the moon, right?
Right.
And it came back with a ping noise. A ping noise means that it's hollow. And you only
Didn't China go there here in the last 6 months?
I think they landed some kind of craft like a rover or something on there.
Yeah, they've got it on the far side of the moon. They've got a rover or two over on the far side of the moon. So,
and we'll never get that information.
Oh no.
So I've got another one. I've got two Bigfoot videos here for you.
All right.
First one. This particular Bigfoot I just popped up whenever we get the chance to share it out. It looks like it's in a snow field on the side of a hill or a mountain. And I could tell you if it's a very large dude or a Bigfoot. I couldn't tell you.
Now, is this off of TikTok or Instagram? Because I know I send you numerous of stuff on TikTok, and you send me numerous of stuff. So,
yeah, I've downloaded stuff off of TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. It's hard to tell where I got this. So, have you shared it out or no?
Yep.
Not
Yep.
yet.
Hold on. One second.
Oh.
I'm looking at my phone.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. Thank you. Take your time, man.
Yep. There you go.
All right. I'm not going to hear the audio because it's probably.
Oh, this is a good one.
My question is, how do you not see that shit right there? You're that close to it.
Some people ain't
Yeah,
paying
I know
attention
some
to
people
nothing.
are oblivious to everything. I get that. Like that's just the world we live in nowadays. But like that shit's a little bit too big. If that's real, that's a little bit too big to miss. Right there when it's in your peripheral.
Yep. Got that sagittal crest, long arms.
Yeah, it's big and it's large and in charge. I don't know how big it is, but it's definitely larger, thicker than the Snicker for sure.
Well, they dumbed down the population enough that they could pretty much do anything without most people looking up from their phones for 2 seconds.
Oh yeah.
And if they look up, they just take a picture.
Shell saying those legs are wrong. Looks like rat legs. Those legs are wrong. Well, let's go back.
Now that's interesting because you see the top of the head, you see the shoulder, you see the arm. But my question, how do you not just it's not like it's behind a tree. That shit is in the foreground. That's just probably maybe 30 yards away.
Yeah, about 30 to 40. Depends on how much they were zoomed out too.
All right. So I got a question for you, Sean. What do you think about the whole Andrew Dawson giant on the mountain thing?
Didn't he get killed or something like that after he retracted his statements about the video about the giant, and he went up and tried to look on that area to find, hey, was there something there? And he found like a antenna array or something like that from like an ABC company, some crap like that. I don't know. I had that discussion with a friend on TikTok yesterday about I think his wife may have posted a few things about that on TikTok. I have not seen those videos from his wife, from Mrs. Dawson. So I have no clue if this is just misinformation or if it is just made for TikTok or social media. I don't know. But the video looks impressive. Other than it's a big dot on top of it. Who knows? Do I believe there's giants on Earth right now? Absolutely. Without a doubt.
I believe that also. They might not be as big as they once were back in the day, but we absolutely not as big as they were, not as many, but there's still some floating around here.
About the mountains of Afghanistan.
Yeah. Now, young Wise, you remember when we drove down to North Carolina? We was like listening to the one show. We was driving through that mountain range, and you brought up like, yo, what if all these old giants are now the mountain ranges?
Exactly. Well, that's what burial mounds. Not all pyramids are like the ones designed in Egypt. A lot of the ones in South America and North America are actual burial mounds of either large animals, sometimes like huge elephants, whales, whatever that died out during the mass extinction, and wherever they fell, wherever they lay, that's where the topography developed around them. And early indigenous cultures, which is my background, Cherokee, I have some Creek, some Choctaw in me as well. And these are stories that are told and passed down, but these are sites to be worshipped, and they were central parts of the culture and the civilization, and that's where like the meeting places were. They ended up being agriculture, farming, and then the villages would be on the outskirts of it. You wouldn't even know that people lived there. A lot of the mountains they also bore into, just because of the nature of whatever fell there. You still have that hollow structure from the bones. So similar to the mountains in Afghanistan, those structures are eons probably older than the ones that we have here in North America. But they're not what we're told, and those mounds are everywhere. And we also build mounds too. We're also mound builders, and that's more along the lines of what you would consider like pyramids. But they all take similar structures. Like
there's a giant rock over in North Carolina.
Some are 6-sided, 4-sided, round.
There's what was you gonna say, Sean?
Do you recall the name of it?
There's a giant rock over North Carolina called Judicula, about a 7-toed giant that would jump from mountaintop to mountaintop, and it's a Cherokee legend. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh yeah, here it is. One second, I'll share this out for you. But there's all kinds of legends. But this apparent giant jumped from mountaintop to mountaintop and left an imprint on this particular rock, according to.
And I think
Brave Jucool. Here we go.
Yeah, Dan. It's breaking up a little bit, Dan.
like Mike was saying, over time, all of the beings on Earth are getting smaller, whether it's prehistoric dinosaurs. So I was saying, but actually you were saying how like things are getting smaller, right? Giants aren't as big. I think a lot of the theories of the Bigfoot go back to some of these large ice age, Hyperborea time. And if you look at some of the like religious scripts throughout the world, they talk of planet hoppers, right? So over time, you go from galaxies to planets to continents to now we're like city hoppers. Some people don't even get out of their own town, but it's the nature of man, I think, to kind of lay your seed wherever you go. So we'll forever tell that story, and it's going to be told in the soil and the dirt. You can't hide it. You hide it in plain sight. That's what they'll do.
Well, you know me, I think they've been doing that for a long time anyway. So, with like a lot of these things that are being uncovered underneath these burial mounds, the Smithsonian comes in and scoops them right up, and you never hear about them again. A lot of these, like giant bones and all kinds of stuff. I did recently see that they actually found an old civilization in the Grand Canyon.
What was that one related to? Because I've heard of like.
Dude, they're talking about like Egyptian stuff, bro.
Ancient Egyptian, yeah.
Like,
well, I think that's proof that goes to more proof that like people were more traveled. We were able to cover grounds, greater distances. So you have similar cultures
so
that was developed throughout the world.
What do you think about every once in a while there's a great reset where civilization becomes more technologically evolved than what they should be, and then something massive happens and it just like you basically got to start from scratch. I personally believe that the Earth is older, civilization is much more older than what they're telling us.
Yes.
Oh, by order of magnitudes, definitely older.
I think we're closer to that than we are to a beginning of civilization. Our birth is long gone. We're closer to like a new arising. So I think that's inevitable.
So you think some of these older civilizations reached the height of technology where they destroyed themselves?
Mm-hmm.
And the evidence is actually starting to show through some of these fossils and whatnot?
But I don't think it's necessarily they destroy themselves. I think it's other civilizations that are watching that have to come and intervene. And then because our technology puts us in such an advanced place, we're able to wage some sort of war. We can't outdo their technology, but we put ourselves to like this godlike magnitude. So they've been monitoring. They're like, okay, they're getting to the point where they could destroy the world 1,000 times over, and now they're getting ready to set out into space to to never return, yeah, we got to monitor these guys. So now we're at that point where if the slave population is able to produce things fast enough, then the Elon Musk of the world will be able to be off into space with their technology and their artificial intelligence, and they'll be a threat to somebody. And the only way to stop that will be to combat it. You'll have to fight it. So just think about some of the technology these guys are talking about. Like he could reproduce Nikola Tesla's death ray.
Oh, I believe they've been doing that for years. They already had that technology.
Yeah, they've been doing that for
some
years.
of that money that goes missing in
They're finally starting to release it with the military. You can go to YouTube and you can see the military lasers just burn through things.
Because all that stuff gets, before the military gets it, it all gets sent to private companies.
The technology they have makes nukes look like cherry bombs, right?
Firecrackers.
Basically, like Ukraine and Russia are talking. Well, Russia's threatening nukes like it's we'll send some nukes, send some. So that means they're really sitting on their hands because you're never going to divulge what you really have. And the nukes that they have are 50 times stronger than the ones they dropped in Hiroshima.
Oh yeah.
So what are they really sitting on? That's the question. And I think we kind of know the answer. It's something far superior. And you have the inner Earth, I think occupied. We have space, not space, but underground stations, underwater stations. And I think that's where their bases are. I think they're launching these vessels, or these, whatever you want to call them, interdimensionally. And we see what we're able to see. We have all these different waves and interferences in our sky. So, it's really hard to kind of decipher what it is, plus the technology that the government has. It's hard to tell what you're looking at, but it's obvious that there's a bunch of technology that's just common. It's just, we can't hide it anymore.
That's funny stuff.
I'll be honest with you though. I never thought I would see a day where it's just expected. Like, okay, people are really just waiting. It used to feel more fringe. You know what I mean? Okay, we know the aliens are going to come eventually. But it's okay, when are they going to come? They've got to show up soon, or we're going to hurt somebody for real.
That could possibly be why they're not going to show up, because the human race as a whole isn't enlightened enough to join that upper echelon, if you know what I'm saying.
I think with technology we will be.
Technology will be, but not spiritually or mentally.
I think there's a combination of the two that are happening. If you look at pop culture, right? What's the narrative?
Now, which part of pop culture are you talking about?
Popular, right? So when you talk about that, you're talking about music, right? So you're talking about views, you're talking about sales, you're talking about numbers, distribution, items moved. That's how they count. They count things based on physical. So the people that are doing the most numbers, you have your counter agenda, you have your satanic, but there's a pushback, right? There's been a pushback, and it's been a spiritual war, right? They're not pushing back against Satanism because it's the cool thing to do. They're doing it because it's a holy war to be waged. So there's that portion of it. You have your Andrew Tates of the world. You have your Jordan Petersons of the world. They're getting back to the basics of spirituality, the basics of brotherhood, the hierarchy of man. In addition to that, then you have your Elon Musks of the world, right? So the technologically advanced. When those two things merge, and then you have your Trinity, also you have your power play, because politics is taking a turn too. You have your Donald Trumps, right? So there's three paradigm shifts right there that if they intertwine, they'll have exactly what we're talking about. We'll have highly spiritual, highly technological, highly powerful beings that come from the human race.
Okay.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility that it'll happen that way. You know, that's one way that I've seen it. It's not guaranteed. I would like to see and know and confirm, like, what most people think about UFOs is true. Is that there is something out there. I don't like sitting in the limbo. I mean, I'm a little past the limbo. I'm pretty sure that it's there. I don't really need any confirmation bias. But most people live unsure.
Oh, well, you've seen something strange, so, and you've seen it when you was with Truth.
Yeah. I've always had an idea though that, like, you know, I'm well read. I have a different idea of academia. I don't like necessarily the scholarly part of learning, but I love the information part of it. And what school teaches makes sense. Like, science makes sense when you talk about phenomena. And now that people are, well, science is starting to deal in the quantum world. They're really starting to understand that, you know, parallel dimensions and parallel realities really are a real thing. So anything that you think can exist probably does. And if it's not in your immediate reality, if you don't have the senses to deal with it, because of course we have sight, we have hearing, we have taste, we have touch, we have smell, but then we have other senses, right? You have your sixth sense, you have your peripheral sense, you have your sense of hot and cold. Those are actually two different senses than touch, because the temperature doesn't necessarily, there's no physical transfer, right? So and beyond that, there are many, many dimensions of sensation and sensory that we're not exposed to. Some people are in certain ways, and some people could sense certain things. So some people would say they're more in tune. Some people are more in tune to Bigfoot. Some people are more in tune to reptilians. And since our brains have developed from everything around us in nature, and we have all of those different sections of our brain, we all have the capacity, but we only use about 10% of it. So imagine we used more. We'd be in all of these different dimensions. So that, I mean, aliens, paranormal, doesn't matter.
What's in that other 85 to 90% that we don't use? Like, that's where you probably get like your telekinesis and all that stuff like that. Telekinesis, telepathy.
So here's an example of some technology that will help people achieve that, right? We spend a lot of our day doing menial things, writing, reading, learning, right? There are programs now that take that type of work out of anything. Like, for example, when you first started diving into the world of 3D printing, there was a learning curve there, right? There was information that you had to have, like you need to talk to people who were doing it. So you used the right materials, you brought the right equipment. But now that you learned, it's more value. You have value because you can produce something. And again, that's the pop culture world, right? I'm not talking about spiritually. You have value always. But in the economic world now, this technology has given people the ability to produce something quickly that they necessarily couldn't have done on their own. Artificial intelligence allows people to produce writings, works, publications. It allows people to stop thinking about how to figure things out. So how am I going to make an arm for this action figure, for your example, right? Mm-hmm. Well, you're going to 3D print it. You're going to download the model that somebody created, and you're going to use it. You can create your own, I suppose. But the fact that that computers are doing the work, it makes it so much easier for us. So we don't have to think as much. I'll give you another example. Remember when the calculators came out, right? Mm-hmm. 1 + 1 was always going to equal 2, but you didn't have to think about it. You just put in 1 + 1, right? So you're just given the prompt, and then the technology speeds up the rest of the process. This is where we are. But like, people don't have to think about anything. If I wanted to, I just started computer programming about a week ago. I could write a script for a keylogger in any computer code that you want. I could do Ducky scripts. I can do you name it. You name it, I could do it. And it's because I don't have to take the time to go sit in a school. All that information it's right here at our fingertips on the internet. Elon Musk is trying to put a chip into your head. You won't even have to think to think. It'll just give you the information that you want. How to be stronger, how to be faster, literally anything you want. How to make $1 billion in a week. Shit like that.
I see. All right, that's pretty cool. Really, you really started doing that?
Huh?
I say you really started doing that, like the computer programming codes and stuff like that.
Yep.
See, I wish Truth was on here right now.
I've been trying.
He wants to get in, like, doing stuff like that. So
you could have. I wrote the first block of a blockchain. That was the first thing that really got me into it. When I started learning about blockchain, when I started studying how that system is set up. It's no different than the internet, right? Except it's an open system, so anybody that's in it can see all of the data, right? There is no metadata. I mean, there probably is. There probably is a little bit of metadata, but any data that deals with the function or the recording of transactions, everything is visible. So our technological world is based off the internet, the Ethernet, and there's codes, there's logins, there's all these different levels of windows that you have to get through to see what's really going on. But when I learned Bitcoin is like, okay, that's the hackers version of the internet, transparent. So I like that idea. I learned how Bitcoin works. It's like, oh, it's the same thing as fiat. They just made it up. Cool. I like that idea.
I remember this was probably like 2013 that you came by the house and we were sitting there chilling. You was telling me about Bitcoin. He's like, yo, invest in this shit. I'm like, I don't know. Sounds like a whole involved process, and I wasn't willing to do it. I wish I would have did that shit back when you was telling me about it.
I'll tell you two things that you could do right now. There's one, it's a company, it's called actually it makes a product. I forgot the name of the company. Let me tell you the name of the company. Um, it's called OpenAI. The company is called OpenAI. If you want to buy stock in them.
You know, I might have to link. I'm gonna have to link you up with Burger.
Yeah.
It's like Burger's big into this shit.
Yeah, I'm done with like right now buying crypto. I was doing that like the past 2 or 3 years heavy. I made a lot of money on Dogecoin.
He moved off. Well, he still does a little bit of crypto, but I'm pretty sure he's doing like stocks and shit now, making money off stocks.
Yeah, Dave does the stocks. He talks about that a lot with Shayna, Eddie's wife. She buys stocks too. And then Eddie and Dave also do like sports betting. Right? Okay. So now let me give you an example, right? You know what a chatbot is?
Okay.
You ever heard of a chatbot?
I used to write code for chatbots.
Okay. So it's like when you go on a website and that little pop-up in the window says, "How could I help you?" If you start typing in command or you asking your questions, it's going to give you very, very limited responses.
Yep.
Well, OpenAI basically put that thing on steroids, and when you hear like robots talking to one another or talking to humans, that's the programming that they're using to allow the robot to communicate. It's the artificial intelligence. So it's basically you're talking to the computer. It takes your voice, it transcribes it to words, it feeds it into the system, and then it has this database that it's trained on. So as of now, they will not let the database go past 2021. If they put it online, it would be able to pull from all current data. So you would be able to look at the stock market and say, analyze the stock market and tell me what the best trades are. Look at the volume for these. And it's based on prompts. So if you ask it the correct question, it will give you the correct answer. And that's what the chatbot does now. It's smarter than a human being.
Have you seen the AI bots to have a live conversation between the two?
Yes.
With their avatars that look like they're human avatars?
Yes. Yeah. So in 2007, I worked for a company in Long Island, New York. It was Valley Stream, New York. It's like right on the border of Queens and Long Island.
Was that the shipping company you worked for?
Yes.
I got you.
That was where I saw the UFO. So the company that I worked for is called K-Line. You probably see their trailers all over the country. It says K-Line, big red trailer with white letters on it. The K is in quotation marks. Sometimes it's a white white circle with the K imprint that's right in the middle. But that's they're a Korean shipping company, and they're owned by the Japanese military basically, and they do all the shipping from America. Boeing, all these companies on Long Island, Hewlett Packard, Northrop Grumman, the aerospace defense industry, that's what we shipped for at the time. And one of the expos, I want to say it was in 2008 in Manhattan, in Central Park. From Korea, they shipped over one of their prototypes of these AIs. It was the robot. It was the female version of it, and you've probably seen it on the internet. They were sending it to the tech expo, and it came into my warehouse, and I was the shipping clerk, the head of the shipping. So everything that came through that warehouse passed through my hands. Everything that left passed my hands. We got a Bugatti one time. This is about 2008 as well. Nobody even knew what the fuck a Bugatti was. But we would get some very high-priced clients, very rich. a lot of military, high tech, sensory parts. I remember reading a news article one time that a Chinese diplomat was arrested for selling the shipping manifests for the type of parts that I used to ship. He was selling them $1,000 a page, and I would deal with hundreds and hundreds of these pages on a daily basis. I wish I knew what I knew then.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, yeah. But the technology's been around. They've been working on it. That was my first glance at it. I thought it was stupid, to be honest with you. Then I was like, what is this thing really going to do? Because of how limited the technology was at that time. But now you can put two of those robots right in front of each other, and it's like they'll have conversations with each other. It's amazing.
I got one for you. All right. So, Young Wise, you remember the first time you came over to my place? Do you see me with a piece of duct tape over my webcam?
Yep. Never forget
You asked
that.
me what the hell I got that over my webcam for?
Yeah. That started that was the night that really just started my journey, my journey down the rabbit hole. I think we watched Zeitgeist that night as well.
Yep.
We might have watched like JFK. I think I had them on DVD. I had just bought them. I got them on the internet, and at that time the internet was a really wild west type place. They came like a fucking burnt disc with handwritten Zeitgeist 1, Zeitgeist 2, and then they also threw in.
Go to like LimeWire and download it or something and burn it onto a CD.
Yeah. So some guy got me for about $10 for those things. I could have downloaded myself probably and ripped them, but the information was priceless, man. And that night, it started with the conversation about the tape on the computer. I think your computer crashed or something, or you were having problems with it. And we're like, yeah, why? Why are you doing that? I'm like, well, this is why.
Yeah, like it's a camera. They could backdoor the shit.
And the only thing that made it make sense to me was the fact that I knew about malware and why computers crashed so much, especially like late 90s, early 2000s. If you had a computer, 9 times out of 10, it was going to get a virus. And it's because of malware. People were just writing simple codes and simple scripts, and you were clicking on one thing thinking it was something else. They turned that into the Rickroll, right? You click on a link that you think it's going to take you somewhere, and it takes you somewhere. It's the same thing. So, and then there's all types of codes and scripts where you could access the functions. So the confirmation was Mark Zuckerberg, and this was years later. Candid picture, somebody coming in his office doing an interview, and sure enough, his screen had a piece of tape on it, and the lady asked him about it, and he got like nervous, like he didn't want to say anything, but he had to admit it right there. He's like, yeah, you can anybody can watch you if they wanted to.
And I was doing that shit back in 2006.
Yeah, ahead of your time. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I sent you down. Well, me and Truth sent you down the rabbit hole. Because you used to think we were crazy as shit. Like you guys were nuts.
Yeah, if you don't have time to have a conversation with people, then you're gonna think people are crazy. But I never took the time to think, man. Now I got all the time to think in the world. Still haven't wanted to go down the flat earth road with me yet. I can give you a very, very brief. Listen, could I give me 2 minutes? All right. And I'll tell you why. It has to do.
Hold on. I'm setting my timer.
Okay. Okay.
All right, clock.
So, tell me when.
Timer. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Go. All right.
Stop.
It has to do with.
Go. 3,
It
2,
has
1, go.
All right. So it has to do with the nature of reality itself. Earlier, I had mentioned science and how science is dealing. Like once it started dealing with particle physics, it realized, all right, there's a whole different realm of science outside of the physical world. So when you start looking at the nature of reality, there's theories it's a simulation. Well, that has to do with dimensions, right? Because the dimension that we're in, that's the reality that we're living in at this moment. But there is a distortion every time you skip from one dimension to another. Keeping all of this in mind, there are no such thing as shapes. There is no such thing as physical objects. These things just really don't exist when you start to talk about the nature of reality. So when you take reality and you look at it objectively through your subjective lens, it's a lens that you're looking through. And everything that we are looking through is a curved lens, upside down, inverted, and inside out. But we can use points of reference to create structures and frames of reference, right? That's what geometry is about, right? You start with nothing, then you get a point, then you get 2 points separated in the space of nothingness. Once they're connected by a line, you have a segment. From there, you start to begin to build structure. So the way that we're able to measure our physical reality is based on geometry. That's what the G is in the Masonic temple. All right. And there's just some other meanings for it too. But as long as we measure it and as long as we observe it, the earth will be round. There's no doubt about it. But we all know that the properties of water are to find a level surface. And in reality, that's what all things are. They're just on a plane. Everything is on a plane, different planes of dimension. Is that 2 minutes?
I'll give you another minute 30. Go ahead.
Okay, well, there's different planes of dimension, right? So now if you look at, and now this has to do with perspective, look at the Milky Way galaxy, right? The Milky Way galaxy is a spiral. It's a spiral within a soup, but you could see it's a blanket, right? It has like a cloud and it appears to be like a blanket. Well, guess what? We're in the middle of that flat, and it's perceived to be like a cloud, like a flat cloud. Okay, so if that space that we live in has that perception, then the thing that we live on is within that realm. Okay, we start to begin to create structure. We have the earth that we live on, and like I said, geometry, we have to create the structure that we live on. But the further you go away from something or the closer you go to it, the reality of it breaks down and it becomes on a linear parallel. And those are the realities of dimensional realities that I'm referring to. So in reality, all things are on a plane. All things are flat. And water, light, waves, particles, they all prove this, is that they're on this very straight path. And sometimes they could be deviated, but then they become a wave, right? So a particle in motion is a line, it's linear. And if there's any force or deviation from any other, or when there is force or deviation from any other particle it comes into contact with, that's when you start to create vibration and structure. So it's not round or flat. It's whatever we perceive it to be.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I've been waiting for that. That's
Yeah.
pretty damn good there.
I can't go with it's just flat because it's not. There is no one answer for anything.
Well, you need to get into some of these flat earth groups and explain what you just told everybody here in one of those groups.
Yeah.
See if they understand and comprehend what you're trying to explain to them.
This is the nature of my reality, Mike. I've always told you I'm half black, half white, look Hispanic. Nothing is as it seems. It's somewhere in the middle. Trust me.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we were able to talk, because I've been trying to get you and Jay on the same page and kind of get back to some of our old antics, man. We were very big into like the content producing business for a while.
Oh yeah, that was I remember we did the the one show that we never posted to YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, well, there was a couple of them. I think there was one we were just chilling up on our room, sitting on the couch, and fucking Nancy Grace and a whole bunch of other shit came up, and we just started going off. I think we recorded that one. We never posted. Then there was the YO. I can't. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. So if you have some time tonight, anytime you have time, check out the email I sent you. I also posted the link.
Was it on my Facebook?
The Mike Watts. Mike Watts 15 on Gmail. Do you still use that?
Yeah. I gotta log into my other phone to get it though.
Okay, yeah. But then also on Messenger, I sent you.
I was wondering what the hell that was. I'm like,
yeah. So that is. Let me see which one I sent you, because I might have sent you two.
Yeah, you did send me two. You sent me a first edit, then a second edit.
Okay, yeah. So that's a paranormal thriller. The first is written in like the outline of a book, and then the second large portion is it written in the style of a screenplay or a movie. And they're two different. The second one is the second one I think you'll like.
Because when you sent it to me, I was at work and freaking I was trying to read the shit. I'm like, I have no idea what the hell is going on here. Okay, it looks interesting, but I couldn't go back to it because people kept walking in. So
okay, that's all I wanted to know, is the fact that it looked interesting, because I'm going to put these out there to be read, and I think I could develop
put them on Reddit, bro.
Yeah, that's where Jay told me to, and I started posting them there. I think I could develop a comic series, book series, and movie, or like a YouTube movie series, shorts and stuff like that, without leaving my, like, literally all just using technology.
That's the route you want to go?
Yeah, as much as I can in my spare time. I had an interview with somebody today, a Zoom call, where they asked me to ghostwrite for them. So, like, I'm going to be taking this writing thing a little more seriously.
Yeah, I know. I've been seeing your post on Facebook about the I don't know what group it is, but it's a writing group that you just joined. I've been seeing like a whole bunch of posts from like you being tagged in the post, or not tagged in the post, but posting on the page.
Yeah, it's a ghostwriters group.
Yeah, yep, that's it. Ghostwriter something.
Yeah. So you think about it, man. We love to tell stories. We love to tell stories, fact, fiction, or otherwise. That's how people. Yeah, well, that's how YouTubers and TikTokers and all of that. This is how they make their content. You know, they start with a premise, they make a script, and then they go from there. But like I said, the screen, how a 3D printer has advanced the ability to make certain things. There's technology that allows you to be a Hollywood studio with a cell phone and a laptop.
Mm-hmm.
So why not, right? And you can code too. I teach you how to code using the same technology. In case you do want to try to take over the world while you're at it.
Yeah, to them black suits come. Excuse me.
I wrote a movie about that, Mike.
No, excuse me.
No, I'm
what do you
serious,
think
Mike.
you're doing,
Mike, I'm dead ass.
sir?
And guess who the characters are?
You're shitting me.
I swear to God, Mike, you got to read it, bro. You're gonna love it.
You got to shit me. All right, so okay. Now, one of the things I want to ask you now that I got you live on air or whatever, right? You remember when me and Truth were helping you move into the place I'm in? I think it was Maston Lake, right off the first Worcester exit.
Yes.
You go over the bridge and that slow moving wherever the hell it was flew over us, and me,
Yes.
Jay, you, Tyrone, we was all outside looking at that shit, and it took about 8 to 10 minutes to fly over us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then not long after that, didn't like a helicopter or two come by?
Yep. About maybe 15 minutes later.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just one; it was like two when they were kind of moving fast. But it flew right over us, right into the Worcester Valley, and up that backside ridge line. And it took about 8 to 10 minutes to 8 to 10 minutes to go over us.
Oh.
I do remember that. And that's a hotbed too, that area, because of where it sits in the mountain.
Mm-hmm. See, woke up. See, I told you, me and you talked about this shit earlier, and this was probably like last year. How we were out helping this man right here move into an apartment, and something flew over us, and we were just out looking at shit, and it took like 8 to 10 minutes of like, it was so slow that like it took forever, but you didn't hear any noise coming off of it, no propellers or anything like that, any gust of wind or nothing like that. It was just silent moving over us, going down into this valley and back up the ridge side, the far ridge.
How big was it?
So
shit, man, I want to say from one light to the other light, maybe
300 feet.
No, I don't know. Not as big as a football field, a little less. Maybe 100, maybe 50 yards, 50, 60 yards from light to light.
About 150 feet then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right. This was a long time ago, though. I remember you and Tyrone came out, was like, "Yo, what the hell are you guys looking at?" We was like, "Yo, look at that shit," and that shit.
I think one important thing to know about that area is, for one, it's a hotbed of activity.
Yeah, from that area all the way down to like Pine Bush, that whole area. You're breaking up a little again.
I think a lot of those in that area are military.
Yeah?
I think the United States government has a lot of underground bunkers.
Oh, yeah.
I think it might run deeper than that. I think it might run from like the Pennsylvania, Scranton. It might run from like Scranton, Pennsylvania, the coal miners area, all the way up to Albany, because that's one continuous mountain ridge. It's the 209 corridor.
Yeah.
And then Wurtsboro is the hill behind that.
Mm-hmm. This
So
209 runs right through Westboro.
there's another smaller hill that is the Wurtsboro Mountain. And then when you keep going, then you hit the Catskill Mountains. So Wurtsboro Mountain sits, Monticello is a plateau that does the same thing. So that's why we always had like different weather. Yeah, we always had different weather pattern. Like the air never escaped. It was like a pocket. A lot of paranormal stuff, a lot of spiritual crazy stuff going on over there. But I think a lot of the aircraft has to do with the military. So, Mike, what's your email that you use?
Go to the private chat. I'll put it in the private chat.
Your Bass.
Yo, yeah, go to the private chat. You'll see it pop up just like, hold on.
All right. Matter of fact, I think I could do it. It's too big.
All right, I'll just put it in the private chat.
I don't think I know how. Yeah, there it is. Yep. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what. I gotta talk to Truth. I'll see if he remembers which episode it was. But you remember when me and him told you that like we had that little incident like Fair Oaks, Pine Bush area with Burger?
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Bro, you're breaking up. I can't. I see your mouth moving, but I can't hear nothing.
Say that again. I just looked away. I got a message.
You remember
Say that again?
the incident that
when you were in Pine Bush with
me and
Burger?
Truth told you we had with, yeah, where that Mr. Time shit happened. That's what got us on that road, diving into like UFOs and stuff like that. Well, we had a remote view come on, and he's pretty damn good at what he does. Damn good at what he does, and he was able to go back and remote view the situation, and it was sketchy enough where we were doing a live stream, and Truth called it on the live stream because he freaked out that bad.
Yeah, he freaked out, shut the show off.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was talking, and all of a sudden he said, "I gotta go, shut the show off."
He shut it down.
Yeah, mediums are nothing to play with. You get a real one. You know what I'm gonna do, Mike? Instead of
yeah, he's probably sleeping right now. So I'll go back and I'll look for the episode. This shit happened. I want to say, when was that? Like late spring, early summer?
Yeah,
somewhere around there. Like, cause we do you remember? I don't know if you remember. You remember Rob Williams? Robert Williams. I know you know the name. You probably don't remember.
Where would I have? From where?
Dude, when we were in middle school, he lived like literally like you walk out the downstairs lunchroom, and he lived in one of those houses right there, like right on Bedford. If you've seen his face, you'd be like, "Oh, I remember."
Okay.
I remember the name. Well, we were gonna have him like come on, but like we couldn't get a hold of him at the time, so we just decided to talk about what happened with Truth and myself, and that was the first time that Truth actually got my side of the story fully. Then we had Mr. Ralphie and Fairmoon come in, and who's our remote viewer, and like I said, he's damn good at what he does. And he was able to go back and remote view the situation, and he told us some interesting stuff that upset Truth very deeply.
What about what he said? Was it the accuracy of it?
Yeah, and tying some missing pieces together.
Yep.
Like how how me and Truth were sitting on the bench and Burger was over there in the corner. We're sitting on something being talked to, and Burger was over there in the corner.
That and the room, they had the light coming from it, a purple light that was
and
shimmering.
And the light that he seen coming down the road at us was bright enough where he was able to remote view it, and gave him spots in his eyes. Just from remote viewing it.
Yeah, that's yeah, that would give me some chills. Where did you meet, or where did Jay meet this guy?
Dude, he's one of the listeners, man. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
He's helped out like when Volt was out doing investigation and stuff like that. He'd ask like, "Yo, you guys need any help?" Yeah, and he was calling stuff out. Like, "Yo, I don't know what that is, but there's something there, and there would be something." Like, the man is damn good at what he does.
Yeah.
I mean, like, damn good. And he was. I'll go back. I'll find the episode and I'll shoot it to you through Messenger. And you just got to go back and like, you just got to listen to it.
It would have been good that night if he was on when me and Jeremy was out there on the farm.
Yeah.
And saw what it was when we come up on that X mark.
Oh yeah, where everybody in the live stream heard the shit go off, but you guys heard nothing.
Yeah. Through YouTube and on TikTok.
All right. So wise young man, we got a few people in the chat asking, do you have a YouTube channel? Do you have any content on it?
No.
Well,
not yet.
You do have a YouTube channel, because if you're talking to us right now, you have a channel, or you got the content on it.
Yeah, I haven't started with the content yet. I'm literally in the development stages, so shortly. What type of content?
I guess everyone's is very interested in hearing what you have to say.
Okay.
Because you struck a couple of good points with people, and I've been watching the chat, and people are liking what you're saying. So,
all right. I will definitely, I'll try to be more regular. I always love to talk to you guys anyway, as much as I could, of course. But as much as I can, I wanted to get back involved with you guys anyway. So I'll try to stay a little regular. And when I start getting content up, I'll just let people know, and they can come and check it out. It'd be a good way to build a following.
Yeah, dude. You set it up, you give us a link, we'll drop a rate in the chat, and people go right over and subscribe to you.
All right, that's cool. So I definitely want to do some stuff like on the paranormal realm, I guess you would say.
Okay. Like, you talking broad
in general
paranormal, or like just a certain topic of the paranormal, like ghosts, or just a broad spectrum of it?
For me, I want to do a broad spectrum, and I want to turn people's stories into stories, right? That other people will read, and then we could turn them into YouTube videos. So that's one aspect of my YouTube page. That's one way that I wanted to use it. But then also as like a podcast, similar to how you guys do this, where I could just talk about general topics, because I could talk forever.
Oh, look what's coming across the bottom.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's cool. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that.
Well, as soon as you get it up, boy, you already got some followers, man.
Yep.
It's cool. I'll keep you guys posted for sure.
Because I'm not gonna lie, your definition of flat Earth. Okay, that was a good one. That's why I didn't want. I'm like, man, is he gonna go down that one route? Well,
Yeah,
no,
and it is wise young man one. I was gonna change it, but I'm not. I'll keep it.
You've been that way forever.
Yeah. So I'm gonna send you this. I'm sending it right now. It's the screenplay for a movie about us. And I swear to God, I know you're gonna love it. I know you're gonna read it and be like, "Yo, this thing is awesome."
I believe we know someone that could take a look at that screenplay.
Really?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Now, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that I've known this man since I was 5, 6 years old. Because you guys used to live 2 doors down from me before I really knew you.
Right. And you know that never really even struck me, because my whole life I thought I met you guys in Evergreen. we knew each other longer than that. I remember moving to Evergreen, and then that's when we really became friends, because your grandma lived there.
Yep.
So it was you, y'all two and Butch, and then me, Eddie, and Dave, and we were just all about the same age. Obviously, you and Jay were the same age. Dave was a little bit older than y'all, and Butch was the youngest. So me, Eddie, and Dave were like a perfect.
All right, so Dave, one thing I want you to explain to everybody. Me and Truth brought it up on the show before, how we used to just hang out at your house or whatever, and me and Truth would be sitting there chilling, then we'll look at each other and just start cracking up laughing, and you guys had no idea what the hell was going on. I mean, like side-splitting laughing.
Yeah. Yep. No, you two were definitely connected in ways that just normal brothers normally aren't. Like, I can't recall what incident it was, but it was one time that one of y'all had got like really hurt, and then whatever we were doing, we just stopped and like something's wrong. But that tripped me out. That still gave me shivers just thinking about it. And there's times where you guys were just on a different, yeah, so on a different wavelength than everybody else. Well, people don't.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say people don't believe in that connection that twins have.
I don't know, man.
It's a real thing. Even siblings.
Well, as long as they ain't like the twins in The Shining, we're all right.
Somebody came across your beer pong video, I believe. Mike.
Oh, shit, that's older.
That video is old, bro.
Oh, wow, something like 12 straight shots in a row at the end of the game. Yeah, that was old one.
That was epic. That was epic. If there was like professional beer pong, that would have been World Series caliber right there.
Dancing the whole time. Holy shit, I forgot about that video. Wait, who the hell said they just found that? Hold on. Was that you, Bear? Where the hell did you see? Because I have like two Bass Mayhems. Like there's my new one, then I have an older one.
Who's He says we're not all flat earthers. I just have a different perspective on reality. I think you can't define reality. It's not we're not one. There's no one definition of reality. So call it what you want. I'm not going to argue about it though. I'll just give my perspective. If you heard it, it makes sense though, right? It's not crazy, and it's grounded in science, right? There might be some theories there or something that I might have to explore a little bit, but if you look at quantum mechanics and quantum physics, they tell you straight at the nature of what you think reality is does not exist, and anything you think is possible probably is happening.
All right, so I got a question for you. Put you on the spot right here. What are your thoughts about what's going on down there in Antarctica? Like Dave and Sean, you got questions, man? Hop in.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. There's a lot of different theories.
You do know that Danielle was like down there for a period of time, like a good period of time, right?
Who was?
Danielle.
Danielle who?
The one with the bad cough when we were growing up.
Really?
Yeah. Dude, she was down there for.
I didn't think I know anybody that ever went down there. I guess
because she's like a paramedic and all that stuff like that, and she was stationed down there for. It was between 6 months and a year or something like that.
It's probably 6 months because I think there's part of the year nobody's allowed down there.
I think that the military, that's just like the buffer zone. So this is going into one of the theories that there's more land masses, that there's more land mass, whether it's under the ice or in the earth, but there's more continents. And it's a likely theory, and I'll tell you where the flat Earth theory throws it off is that they say beyond the poles there's more continents. So you
know what? That's the ice wall theory. That falls into the ice wall theory.
Right.
Yeah.
And that kind of makes sense, but it could also make sense from the inner Earth theory because if you go to the North Pole, there's theories that there's an inner Earth from the North Pole. So if that's true from the North Pole, why wouldn't that be true from the opposite South Pole? Right. Exactly.
So okay. So
like, right now you do know. I was going to say Russia's making a big push for the North Pole right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're both contested.
All right, so let's just amuse me for a second, right? Let's say you're sitting in your elementary school class and you have one of those globes that are sitting on the nice little stand or whatever. You can just spin it around. You got the North Pole and you got the South Pole. There's an inner Earth interest at the North Pole. There's an inner Earth interest at the South Pole. Could there possibly be one? You're looking at it from north to south, east to west, right? Could there also be interests east to west?
I think it's dimensional. Every
interest is interdimensional, or just?
I think there's a layer not far below what we would consider the surface of the Earth. Like, you know how people go splunking, right? And they find like completely isolated ecosystems.
Yep. Sean G's brother caught one of those.
Okay, so I think there's something like that, but then the deeper you go, you're going to come to some magnetic center. And I think that magnetic center is where, and that's why you can't dig through the earth, right? If you, and that's another theory why the round earth doesn't make sense, right? Because I mean, in theory, if you could design something that can penetrate completely through the earth, when you come out on the other side, are you going to be feet up or head up? Right? So I don't think the nature of, I think there is something in the center. It has to do with magnetism. But if you've ever tried to put a magnet in the center of other magnets, what does it do? It flips, it flops, and eventually pops out wherever the hell it can get out.
Flex off each other.
Yeah. So I
just remember
think
the Mel's Hole story where this guy put like a rock or a weighted whatever piece of lead, and it's struck it down and put miles of this high test fish line. Kept feeding.
Mel's Hole.
Mel's Hole, yeah. You remember that?
No,
Bell did a whole series on that thing, and he sent a dead animal down into Mel's Hole and brought it back up, and it was live.
See, yeah. So right now, the scientific community, academia, is studying a black hole that they just saw swallow a sun and then spit it back out.
Yep.
That they thought that was impossible. So
yeah, I remember reading about that here. What was it, a few months ago when they discovered that?
Right. Yes, that's not very, very recent, right? So I take like lots what's going on with CERN, and I'm looking at that to be the root cause of the veil of this reality starting to falter. So you have things that just aren't as they used to be, and things are changing quickly. Let me ask the group this question, right? This is going to have to do with the nature of reality and CERN. Have we all heard of the Mandela effect?
Absolutely.
Okay, so me and you, Mike, are obviously about the same age range. But in school, do you remember the Bernstein Bears?
Yes.
The Bernstein Bears?
Bernstein, yes, absolutely.
Right. Yep. And it was said one of those two ways, right? Bernstein or Bernstein, right? Do you, how about Sean G or Will Wilcott? You guys remember those stories?
Yep.
Yep. Bernstein.
And the reason
I did an entire show on this Mandela effect. It was, you can go down an entire slew and keep going until you lose your voice on it. So
yep.
I had a very, very specific, like I have memories from my childhood. I have a lot of memories that are ingrained in me. My earliest memory, I thought was I was about 8 or 9 months. I actually have an earlier one than that. I have a baby son, so I'm going and I'm reliving some memories through him. But about 6 months is probably my earliest memory. So now I'm talking about grade school when we were reading Bernstein Bears. We're talking about 4th, 5th grade. I was around that time in 3rd grade, they discovered or decided I was dyslexic, right? Which basically means I process things too quickly that I don't regurgitate it the way that they want it to be regurgitated. But my D's and my B's, my M's and my N's, my S's and my Z's, I had a bunch of letters that just fucked me up royally. And the I before E was one of those things in spelling that just, I couldn't figure it out. Science was SCEINCE. I didn't. And I had one teacher in particular that would do story time, and she would use the Bernstein Bears. And she made a couple of points when doing an English lesson. One was there's a rule that is not always true. And that's the I before E except after C. The reason why she made that point was in reference to the book. And then she used a historical and geographical reference saying people from, she's saying she has family that was from Germany. They're Jewish in origin. Their last name was Stein. So there are certain cultures when you're looking at names, she made this point specifically, that will not follow grammatical rules because these rules are written from the American language. Not all words come from the American language. I learned that in 4th or 5th grade. That shit stuck with me. Hence the spelling of Bernstein Bears. And now there's an A in it somehow. I wasn't that fucking retarded that an E was an A and I before E except after C. Like, you get me? Like, but now it's an A. It's clearly an A. There's no recollection. There's no, Google it. You can't find it spelled Bernstein, E-I-N. Everything's with stain. I don't remember it like that. Clearly, I don't remember it like that.
I don't know. Like, dude, the Mandela effect is a rabbit hole you could deep dive in.
See somebody with the name. Arlene. Yeah, see, that's one. Berg, and the teacher also referenced the name Berg as being one of those names that are from that region. Yeah, so the nature, and that just deals with the nature of reality, right? We could discuss it and debate it all day, but when somebody says they know and that's the way it is, that's the way it is for them. I'm not going to debate you. I'm not going to argue with you. I believe you. Trust me, I believe you.
Well, like I was saying, the Mandela effect is, like, there's so many aspects that you deep dive down into that shit. Like, you got the whole Shazam thing with Sinbad saying he wasn't in the movie, where there is video proof of him in that movie. Because I remember there being a Sinbad movie called Shazam.
I remember that movie.
Yep.
I remember watching that movie.
They're saying that it never existed.
Yeah, that tripped me out too.
Then you got Fruit Loops. How's that spelled? Heck, I don't remember the F-O-O-T. It's F-R-U-I-T. Loops, not the other one. I mean, all kinds of different things.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Yeah, there's tons of it.
You know what? The one that it's actually named for, though, that one is not. I remember it being Nelson Mandela dying in the 90s, not in jail.
Yeah, I remember him dying in the 90s. Yep.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can't debate the ones that you can't debate. You know, when you know and you know, it's like.
So do you think that they have been running some kind of technology to affect that since then?
Somebody said their wife eats butter now.
What?
Yeah,
What
man. CERN's messing everything up.
Yeah, Shell, tell them about
hold on.
Peanut butter.
Yeah, peanut butter.
All right.
I had a personal.
So do you think this is purposely being done as a psyop, or it's just some naturally occurring event? Or
you heard the mythology of Pandora's box, right?
yeah.
It's just something that it reoccurs, right? Because when a civilization gets to a certain point, when you mix greed and power, You have gluttony, and they're going to indulge in things that they shouldn't indulge in. And when you get to a certain point, God said you shouldn't indulge, man. And once that box is open, demons are loose. So people are playing in realms that they don't understand. That's it. They're dealing with demons, and they're dealing with spirits, and they're dealing with other dimensions that they couldn't even begin to fathom. And now everybody's reality is flipped upside down, inside out. But I would, it goes to further the psyops, because now what is real and what is not.
What if it's not psyops and it's unintentional and they don't know how to correct it?
I believe the people that unleashed it aren't the ones that are in control of it. I believe it's like what you would call white hats, right? I'm a white hat, right? I'm behind the scenes. I see things that are wrong and I try to fix them. In my mind, I'm in a position of power in my world. I affect my world in that level. Mike's knows some of the things I've done. I've been approached. I've been approached by the Illuminati. I've been asked to join. It's not for me. It's not for me.
Yeah, and you do know that I've been approached like on numerous times also, right?
Yep. I remember you telling me. Hey, look. This is my dad. This is my dad's hat. He created his own fraternal lodge. So.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah, this is where we were every weekend. Every weekend as a child. But as an adult, when they started to make me certain offers, because that Hollywood thing, man.
Okay, I want to. Sorry to interrupt you, Dan, but I want to say, was this around the time you were around between the ages of like 19 to 25?
Yeah, it was a little older than 19. 19 was kind of like my
like 1920.
Yeah, like when I got into my 20s, definitely, because that's when I started to get a formal education. I went back to school eventually. I did 1 year of college. I was too smart for college. But once you start to walk and talk their way, they'll approach you, right? I was on the mainstream. I was outside of the mainstream for so long. I always did things my way. I couldn't be told what to do. I don't like rules. So when I was re-educated, right, I had to be re-educated, and then I came back into society, started to go to school. I was still at this spiritual split of, do I do things right or the right way? And I had 2 car accidents in a very short period of time.
I remember that.
One of them should have killed me. Thank God we like played basketball every day for 20 goddamn years. You know, I'm built like a fucking shit brick
concrete.
Oh, yeah, on hard 100-degree weather, 12 inches of snow in a snowstorm. Seriously, like ice. We used to play on ice. I can't make that up. But I was T-boned by a car that was owned and driven by somebody who worked for the government. There was no reason I would have been T-boned, man. I was stopped at a light. I had the light. It was just one of those things, and that person was very instrumental in the government.
And this isn't too far from where I'm sitting right now.
Right. So
I mean, like almost around 2 corners, and then you're at the spot.
Now, the reason why I think it happened was because I went spiritual, and I continued to do the things I was doing. I was going to churches. I was getting kicked out of some of them, but I found a home church.
That and you were becoming very vocal in the community at that moment in time. very,
I was-
very, very vocal. And me personally, I don't know if I ever said this shit to you, but I think you put a target on your back.
No, there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. I was the Nipsey Hussle in my hood without the businesses yet, right? Before he started businesses, like the mentality of like, I was talking to the Crips and the Bloods. I had family that's one of the major Crips, and all my best friends are the Bloods. And I'm like, you do realize like we're stronger together, right? We were putting together Stop the Violence rallies where we were so big and strong in numbers in a small town.
Down the main street.
Yep. We had one time we had the sheriffs threaten us with their military equipment. We went by the jail, and I tested this. I got locked up for something that I ended up beating. It was a false charge that they tried to put on me because I already had my drug felony. So they couldn't get me in jail. I beat them from inside using their law library. So I come out and I'm starting to do my thing. But when I was in jail, they put me on a dorm the first time. So I was in a dorm with about 50 or 60 people for 7 or 8 months, men as a matter of fact. And there were times where we were having conversations and we just knew, like, everybody knows that we're in control of this. So if we wanted to be walking on Main Street right now, we could do that. We're going to go downstairs. We're going to take all the guns and all the keys, and we'll have the sheriff's department ransacked before they even knew what hit them, right? And you could logistically plan that out. You have all the time in the world.
Because at that time, they were a skeleton crew, basically.
And the jail is falling apart. I was like, I said,
it was
day,
almost 100 years old.
Yeah, I said one day, do you realize? I took everybody on the tour around the dorm because we were on the top floor. And I said, look at this crack.
Hold on. You might be telling too much. Let's
No.
Let's keep.
You got to keep it in the public. You have to keep everything in the public. So I'm looking, and we're walking, and I'm looking at the beams, and then you could see the crack straight through the floor from one side to the other, and it's in the middle of those beams.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, if we just stood in the middle of this and just jumped, just kept jumping, they would have no jail. Right. So our power is a lot more than what they want us to have. And this is a psychological prison. I was doing all of that, talking all of that stuff. The next time I got arrested, they was on a probation violation, motherfuckers. They was trying to get me too. They wrote me 2 violations in one day and didn't even tell me, and I was in their office. But they wouldn't put me back on the dorm. And after a week of that, they stopped moving new prisoners onto the tier with me. Right. So I was being very, very vocal. I wanted to go to the courts and exercise our rights to petition the court for redress of grievances, because without any representation, there can be no taxation. So my mind is white hat, that's who I am. That's what I am. And now that I'm learning coding, I don't know, Mike. I don't know if they're going to try to come and get me again. But I've been hiding out for a while, man. I had to leave the state.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to take over a new state, man. I'm at war with this state right now. I already beat New York. I'm in New Jersey right now.
That's New Jersey, New York. That's too close, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, New Jersey is a corrupt state too. I was like, oh man.
I thought New York was bad. Yeah.
Jersey. New Jersey's like being it's like 20 years ago, 30 years ago in terms of like the way things are done. It's very like small town backwater.
And that's the crazy part, because that's a metropolitan area.
That's why people are confused. You think you're going to come and get this big city. No. You get into that courtroom, it's 5 people. You, the judge, the bailiff, your attorney, and the prosecutor, man. Whatever they say goes. That's how it is. Yeah, but I'm no longer a criminal. I stopped selling drugs a long time ago. Somebody said, Jersey, you can't pump your own gas. And they have no U-turns either. You can't really do U-turns here.
You can't make a left turn. You got to make a right to make a left.
Dude, you know how many times I got lost going down the fucking Paramus and trying to turn around and come back up? I hate driving in Jersey. Plus,
Whoever came up with the phrase, it takes 3 rights to make a left, they were from New Jersey.
Yeah.
Or 3 left. Yeah.
No, it'd be 3 rights to make a left.
3 rights to make a left.
That's Kumia's damn ex-wife's mom, remember?
Yeah.
Make 3 lights to make a left.
Yeah.
Well, depending on where you're at in Manhattan, it applies the same way.
Yeah.
And I hate driving in Manhattan.
Oh, God. That's a nightmare.
All right, go to what part of Jersey, Mike? Torres.
Oh, you looking at chat? All right, let me get back up.
Yeah. I see he has the Mets gear on. So yeah, he's definitely a Metro New Yorker. Bloomfield. Oh yeah, okay. I'm up in I travel up that way a lot. I travel all over the state for work. I'm in the capital right now. I'm in Trenton. Just in case you guys are looking for me, that's for the camera, because I'm telling you, I know I've made some enemies along the way, Mike. Remember when I told you I was like, yo, I'm gonna figure out this whole bloodline thing, man.
Yeah, dude, I could tell you some shit that Burger figured out. And
What?
he did the whole the ancestry shit.
Yeah, that's the route I went.
Yeah, on my mom's shit, that shit's on my Instagram. On my grandmother's side,
Bloomfield. That's New Jersey for you.
on my grandmother's side, there's a family crest that dates back to the 1600s. And he sent me the family crest.
Oh, you know we're related, Mike, right?
What?
I said you do know we are related, right? By blood, right? Through my dad and through your, I want to say, grandfather.
On which side?
Your
probably my grandmother's side, right?
Your dad's dad.
Okay. Melvin.
Yep, because he's the watchman.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yes. So my Sutton name, man. It's the family
Did I not say when we were young? I was like, yo, somehow, some way, I know we're fucking related.
Yeah. Well, my dad told me one time. See the group of cousins that he traveled up north with, and it was cousins that were cousins of cousins. So some of them technically weren't his cousins, but when you bring it into perspective, we all came from the same places, right? And over time, we had so many intermarrying, intermixing. Essentially, we literally were all related, and we knew that at that time. My family's name was, I guess, held by wealthy slave owners. So although we weren't a very popular name, like Jefferson is a very, very popular African-American name, or Washington.
Yeah.
But Sutton was everywhere, and we were used as breeders. The name Sutton was used as breeders. We were enslaved as breeders, builders, just for the physical attributes, basically, and very, that's a reality that we come from. But there's a deeper reality too. And when you look back into your history, Mike, our history, we're indigenous to this land. The only reason why they put the slave narrative on us. And be clear, all human beings, all races, all creeds at some point have been enslaved. So it's not a racial thing. But for us, the reason why they put enslavement on us is so we can't think back any further. Because when you have a claim to the land, then you have a deed. You have a claim to the deed. And there is no statute of limitations on that. And that's what people are actually fighting for. There are things that are going on behind the scenes in this country that would literally bankrupt this country. So if you see in California, when they start talking about we're giving out reparations, I'll tell you why. It's because that anybody that America has wronged, if you could figure out how to, in law and in fact, prove it, then restitution shall be yours. And that's just the law of the land. That's the law of God. And like I said, it's a spiritual fight. We got to take it to their home turf. And they're in the court systems, so where they think they're God. So that's the shit that I be talking, Mike. That's revolutionary. It makes people nervous.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, the time is now, I think, in terms of like the paradigm. Like, I'm an extreme version of that. But most people are just feeling like, okay, we know everything is wrong, but they're not just going to change everything about what they want. They're going to keep mostly everything intact and just go along knowing everything is wrong. But that doesn't really accelerate change the way that I would like to see it accelerated. I want to see Babylon collapse. See child trafficking rings exposed.
That's that topic right there is something for a face-to-face conversation that shouldn't be here.
I'm done there on that topic. I'm not gonna use any more buzzwords on that topic right there. Epstein didn't kill himself. You could still say that, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God. Now that you just said that. Okay. So one of the things I just came across in my various scrolling through the interweb is that, you know, the Jay-Z song Big Pimp. No, was it Big Pimp? No, it wasn't. It was the one he did with R. Kelly.
That's a whole rabbit hole right there. Jay-Z and R. Kelly. You just said it. I just said that. Talking about Jay-Z and R. Kelly. Oh God.
Hold on. The video that they shot was filmed on that island.
I'm not surprised. Man. Jay-Z is a mole, man. He's a plant. He's a plant.
Listen, you're hearing me this. You're hearing it right now. I'm not accusing anybody of everything. I'm just telling you what I've seen. I've seen videos that recently depicted the NFL being rigged, which is making a lot of sense right now.
Yeah, Jay-Z might be otherworldly though, bro. Jay-Z might not even be what we think Jay-Z is, really. I know you've seen the photos of him from like 1920s, right?
There's a whole bunch of them. There's Jay-Z. There's Justin Timberlake. There's
Nicolas Cage.
Gatekeepers, bro. These motherfuckers live 200-300 years, man.
Fucking Johnny Depp.
Gatekeepers.
Dude, there's actually, tell you the truth, you can run down the names in Hollywood and like somewhat famous. There's actually a photo. I know everybody's seen this shit. The photo of Greta Thunberg.
Yep.
Oh, that old comparison from.
I'm not saying nothing about
her. You're gonna say everything else, but you're not gonna talk about her. Okay.
No, they got my boy Tristan, man, over some pizza. You saw that? Did you wait? Hold on. What do you know about this guy Tristan Tate, man?
The guy, what?
Tristan Tate.
You mean
his Bugatti.
Are you talking about Andrew Tate?
Andrew
Tate. Well, Tristan is his brother. Tristan
right.
is his brother. I like Tristan better than Andrew. Everybody like Andrew. I like Tristan.
Well, they're absolutely trying to shut him up.
Yeah, they're trying to shut him up big time.
They are trying their damnedest to shut him up. I've never been particularly a big fan of his stuff, but every once in a while I do listen, and yeah, they're trying to shut him up.
He speaks a lot of truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And this woke crowd don't like it.
Yeah. He speaks his truth. And that's the thing, right? Like, everybody's not going to agree with him. But if you speak your truth, that means you're not a part of somebody else's script or their narrative. And that's the matrix, right? And the matrix somebody else created.
Why they're
just
coming at
part of it. So and you can learn the lesson through the teachings of Jesus or whoever, Buddha, but it's about being a badass, righteous motherfucker. That's what it's about. Be a fucking lion, be ready to get dirty, but at the same time, carry a gentle heart and don't let the lion come about and control the lion. When you could do that, if you could be gentle, but still know that you're a killer, there's nothing more dangerous than that. Nothing. And that's why men are an endangered species. Real men, anyway.
Oh, all right. That's a different subject for a different day on a different show. I understand what you're saying. Oh man, I could give you fucking 5 reasons that I've seen today for that. Just standing behind the counter.
Yeah. Well,
sound like you ought to write a song about that.
It'll be so disrespectful.
We'll have to call you the Black Andrew Dice Clay then.
You ever met that guy, Mike? He comes up he used to come up to Kutcher's all the time.
Who? Which guy?
Andrew Dice.
Yeah.
We used to work at this place. You ever told them about Kutcher's?
Well, I told them about the weird paranormal shit that I had happened to me there.
It was just an epic time, man. That was life there.
Kutcher's was fun.
Yeah.
But you know what? Me personally, I believe that the reason why because somebody bought all that property. Like, they bought all that shit. It was the Y01 facility, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were supposed to build that Y01 facility on the grounds of where Kutcher's is. But when you worked there, did you not see that spirit line that went across the entire backside of the hotel and everything like that? It's just a thin line, like maybe yarn or whatever, but it was tied up to like 15-foot posts going all around the property. When they showed the property, they started tearing all that shit down. And whatever was being held back by those spirit lines connected itself back to the property.
I remember the first day of construction, somebody died. They had to shut down this property site or the construction site. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Fell off the roof.
No. That wasn't the construction site. That was the last festival. That was the weed festival they were gonna have.
But then so the dude on the construction site didn't fall off the roof.
No,
somebody died. But somebody died during construction.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and then they had to shut it down. Those events were relatively close because the party was the last party, right? They was like, okay, after this, there is no more Kutcher's.
Yep, and I was
all that.
One of the last 5 people shutting down the hotel.
Yep. I remember just going to play golf a couple times out there with nothing else going on except they would let you use the golf course. That shit was eerie.
Mm-hmm.
But there are definitely in Sullivan County. There's a lot of Indian burial grounds as well. So a lot of the hauntings are related to that.
There's a lot of strange stuff that happens in Sullivan County, bro. Like a lot. Like out in Hurleyville right now, like the old railroad tracks that they have out there, where there was a massive crash and multiple people died. I can't remember the year, but like it's like a whole tour thing now.
Really?
Yeah.
I vaguely remember
you know the area. You're going down past Kutcher's, like you're going into Hurleyville the back way. Whatever. Then you got to get to the stoplight. You got to make the left. You got to go down the hill, but it got like a little swamp on the left hand side. Then you got to slow down to like 20 miles an hour because if you're driving too fast, the cops will pull you over. Then you get actually into the town. There's a gas station right there on the left hand side. There's like a couple of stoplights. There's a left you can make that brings you down to that area, and there's like a whole like thing about it now.
Really?
And every year for the last, I want to say at least the last probably 5 years, they've been doing like ghost haunt trail expeditions down that shit. On
you know what? That's a really, I don't know what it is about that part of. I think it's maybe the way they built it on the mountain. But even when you're in your car and you're coming down that road, let that shit go and coast if you want to. You'll be going way too fast to come around that slight, and it's not even a big exaggerated turn. And I think you know which one I'm talking about, right? Because
I know exactly. If you put your car in neutral at the top of that hill, by the time you get down to the bottom, you'll be doing about 65, 70.
Right. But
then
you
slow
notice
down because it drops down to 30 very fast.
But do you notice where the road curves? It would stay straight, but that ends up being somebody's parking lot, right? I bet you that used to be the road, but people used to go so fast down that thing. They were like, no, we have to change the slope on this road.
It's the firehouse right there. As soon as you go down the hill and it starts to bank, it's the firehouse right there because you got the little swamp area right there on the right hand side.
Yeah,
firehouse right there.
Yeah.
Now I'm pretty sure the firehouse back in the day was a lot further down the road than where it is now.
Yeah. And if you take a random walk through any abandoned town, because there's a lot of abandoned towns, right? You're going to see railroad tracks that you've never known existed. You're going to find large structures similar to Kutcher's, but they were built, 100 years before.
Yeah, look at the Neverson Reservoir. On like low days, you could see the top of the church steeple.
Really?
In the Neverson Reservoir, like out there by like Grahamsville, shit like that. On a low water day, you can see the top of the steeple, like the top of the cross is out of the water.
That's an interesting one. I know they evacuated.
That used to be an actual like little town that they flooded out.
Yeah.
Which became part of the New York City watershed.
Yeah.
And if you want to fish there, you better have a permit because they will hand you a heavy, heavy fine for that shit.
Yeah, you'll see NYPD 90 miles, 100 miles away from New York City. And they protect that. Remember 9/11? How many of them were up there?
They shut all that down.
Please.
All of it. Yeah. They were pulling people's boats out and all that shit. Shut it all down.
And then you get the environmental police up that way. They act like they're fucking judge, jury, and executioner up that way.
Yeah.
And then when they come into town, you could speed right past them. They won't do anything.
I know a good majority of them. When they see my car at like one of the lakes or whatever, they don't even stop me and ask me for my fishing license anymore. They just be like, "Yo, did you catch anything yet?" Nah, bro, I just got here. Yeah. All right, have a good day.
That's the relationship you have to have with them, because if not, man, they could make your life a living hell.
Oh man, trust me. There's this one blonde. She is an asshole.
And I bet you she's cute as hell too.
Yes.
That's how they are.
Asshole.
Don't you just hate that?
Yeah.
Like,
There's some really nice female looking police officers where we're from, and that's rare because most of the females don't look good. So the fact that the good looking ones end up becoming police officers, it's just a phenomenon that there's no explaining.
wait, hold on. That's few and far between. Let's not get that shit twisted.
Okay, hold on. Could I clarify? You have to spread it out amongst the jurisdictions. You have to include corrections, and you have to go from Albany down to Sullivan County. You have to include that. Now that you think about it,
you're talking about 150-mile radius.
Right, but that's our region, right? That's one region for us, right? But you can name a handful of girls that wouldn't.
You gotta clarify that shit up a little bit, bro. Like, cause I've seen I'm sorry for everybody's listening. I've seen a bunch of fucking dogs working. They're not the new no, never mind. I'm not even gonna go there. Never mind. You know what? Fuck it. The new meme that's been hitting everybody's timeline. That's happening down there, down south. With the whole
What's that? What's the new meme?
Oh,
with half the police force.
that long black train.
Damn, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
I said it out loud.
Truth, if you're listening to this tomorrow, I'm sorry.
Like, man, what are you doing to my channel? It's like,
hey man, man. It's 1:30 in the morning where I'm at right now, and yeah, I'm like hosting the show, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna I think I'm gonna call it quits for the night. My wife came downstairs probably about an hour ago and gave me one of those looks. So
next will be a slingshot.
Yeah. So, but Mike, we definitely do this again. I have a lot of free time at nights. I haven't been as busy as I was like past couple
it's
years.
not up to me. It's when Truth wants to do them. So
okay, that's cool.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's up to him when he gets out of, like, he's not here right now because I know he's tired or whatever. But if he had to work tomorrow at Browntown, he'd probably be on right now.
All right, cool, man. And everybody, just thanks for your support, and I'll keep you guys posted when I get back with some good content. Start to do my own thing, bring some of you guys on.
Oh, because trust me, we're gonna get him back on, and we're gonna deep dive into some shit that. Yeah,
we didn't touch some subjects that I'm kind of glad we didn't touch because those are
yeah, we're gonna have to have a backside conversation about those before we touch them.
All right.
So, like, hey, get your minds out together. We're gonna have to talk about that behind the scenes before we talk about that on air.
Okay. All right, signing off. Everybody have a great night.
Have a good night, guys. Thank you for joining us.
Night.
Good night.
Brent.